This is the A7FL Games of the Week, live on A7FL.TV and internationally on DAZN, as the Silk City Animals look to bounce back after a loss to the Trenton BIC against the Old Bridge Hawks. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. Rob, great to have you back in the booth with me as the Animals and Hawks face off for the only time in the regular season. So glad you're joining us. We know you were expecting a Heathens and Octane matchup, but you can find that game on A7FL.TV on demand. But Rob, right now the Animals looking to bounce back, as I said earlier, against their loss against the BIC, a real controversial matchup, and that rivalry has really taken up a lot of space. I talked about it this week on A7FL in Motion in the narrative for the 2025 season. As we get closer and deeper into the playoffs, what do the Animals need to do to show that the loss 2 weeks ago does not matter? They have a short-term memory.
Funny enough, all they have to do is show up and play the games they've been playing. I mean, even in the loss against BIC, we have to factor in little things like David Tender being hurt. A lot of their star tight end wasn't there. A lot of guys were missing, but again, those guys looked good, even in a loss. I hate to say it. Nobody likes hearing me say it. But they look good in the loss. I wouldn't hang my hat after losing to BIC. I would just watch that film, see what we did wrong to lose by 2 points, and come right back out swinging.
And they beat two of the three teams we thought they needed to beat this season to make a statement. The Watchmen and the Patterson. You were watching the action of when the Animals faced the Watchmen a few weeks ago, and David Tender, an MVP candidate, Rob, but due to the bangs he's gotten in the last couple of weeks, he's been hit quite hard, and in that BIC Animals game, it looked like he was going to have to come out for a significant period of time. He will be out for this game. It'll be CJ, Charles Johnson, stepping in, a veteran of this league. Rob, what should we know about the difference in style between what Johnson brings to the table, a veteran of the A7FL, against the second-year tender?
CJ is a very savvy quarterback. He definitely reads his receivers. Like, he's going to throw the ball. Like, there's no fear in him. He'll run it a little bit too, but I'm pretty sure he's lost a step since his younger years. So we won't see the explosion that we get from David Tender. We won't see the youth, but we'll definitely see some good quarterbacking. It'll be a good matchup between CJ and Corey Hammond.
And yeah, Corey Hammond will be in the lineup there. You see Kwani Morgan, but Corey Hammond, Amir Morris is a matchup we've wanted to see in a long time in the A7FL. We've seen it only a few times this season, with Morris being injured and Hammond getting injured in against the Renegades a few weeks ago. What do you think the Hawks are going to have to do to set the tone? How much of it is setting Delron Simmons out there to go against that voracious defensive line? How much of it is setting up that pass? And how much of it is the offensive line giving Corey Hammond time to make plays like this?
90% of it is the offensive line giving Corey Hammond the time to make plays like this. But that other 10%, as you can see sometimes when Corey does get that time, it doesn't mean he's making the best decisions. And, you know, Corey's a buddy of mine. He's very pass heavy, even when the situation calls for a run. So Corey has to definitely throw some more balance in his offensive play calling, make sure to hit the hot hand a couple of times, and hit his guys in stride, and his guys need to catch the pass, of course. But even if Corey can't get it done, they do have Beppo, as we see right here, who gives the offense a very different look, and I'm not mad at the look they give him at all. He's quick. He'll run the ball. He's very strong. He'll make the hits. I like Beppo back there just as good as Corey.
And it is the Animals taking on the Hawks on the A7FL Games of the Week. We've got action all afternoon long here on A7FL.TV. The Stealth are battling against the Gold right now in Las Vegas. We'll have updates on that game throughout the day. But with the Animals missing David Tender, it comes to question, like, being prepared for the playoffs, Rob. We know a lot of these teams are trying to get the reserves ready, trying to make sure that their rosters are completely healthy. If we take a look at the Animals heading into the playoffs, do you think that they can make a deep run resting David Tender this week? Is that the right move, or to get him back out on the field? Because we've seen that Old Bridge defensive line try to come after quarterbacks, but they've been not able to finish the job and get the sacks they need. what is it that you need to do right now?
If I am the Animals, I am resting David Tender. We have enough talent. We have enough. We don't necessarily need him to come out there and risk injury against a team like the Hawks. Like, it's not saying that the game doesn't mean anything. It changes seeding if they lose here, but being that they feel like they can get it done without him there, I would definitely rest them 100%. I agree with the decision to rest them.
And when we return here on the A7FL Games of the Week, we will get you throw-off live from Asbury Park as the Hawks and the Animals square off. Can the Animals get their second win in history against the Hawks? We find out next.
Two-minute break. The refs are taking a shit.
We are back live on the A7FL Games of the Week. The referees are back, the teams are on the field, and we are ready for action from Asbury Park Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, and we see the Hawks getting ready for this showdown today. And Rob, when we look at the Hawks, historically, the Hawks and Animals matchup, the Hawks were usually favored up until this past, the last couple of seasons. The Hawks were making their return to the A7FL, but historically, except for 2018, their first ever matchup, the Hawks have won the last 3 straight, usually by a margin of 9 points or better.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I mean, the Hawks, this isn't the last couple of years. This season, I'm pretty sure it's not really on anybody's bingo card that the Hawks are going to blow the Animals out. At the very least, we can get a very good game, a very competitive game, because the Hawks did come out earlier in the season with a spark that they seem to have lost. But again, I've seen some things that show that they're trying to get it back. And maybe with a healthy Corey Hammond, and some stellar play from that offensive line, they can actually show us what we saw in the beginning.
I completely agree. And when you take a look at what the Animals have been able to do this season on defense, adding Trey Baskerville, that's going to make things a lot harder for this Hawks offensive line. And early in the season, we saw them give Corey Hammond some time, be able to get those quick plays out, right, but also establish Elron Simmons. Elron Simmons was one of the bright spots in Week 1, one of the guys that we were talking about coming out of that game. And there you see Charles Johnson, who will be leading the charge, and he was along with John Kessler, the Joker, 2 veterans in the A7FL, sure, going back to when you were playing there, Rob.
Honestly, I've blocked for, listen, in his heyday, I've blocked for Chris Johnson, and I've blocked for Corey Hammond. Corey Hammond as a person is one of my favorite people on the planet. But as a quarterback, Chris Johnson is almost second to none in his peak.
Chris Johnson, pardon me.
Yeah, Chris Johnson, CJ.
Charles Johnson is the former running back of the Titans. Chris Johnson is the guy
also,
on the screen. Yeah, there's so many.
So many. But CJ, he has D1. He has a D1 background. He played behind, if I'm not mistaken.
He backed up Matt Ryan at Boston College.
He backed up Matt Ryan. So
not me, to clarify.
Yeah, the
more talented Matt Ryan, the one,
the other one.
Yes, the one where you can buy a jersey of him.
So he has the mindset. I mean, very bullheaded. Like, he had a thing where he wouldn't throw to the tight end, and I would go to play tight end and beg him for a pass. He would refuse to pass the ball. But as far as an offensive mind, he was dangerous. He would, just the way he saw the field, he was very dangerous, man. So they have, I know, everybody's excited as David Tender, because David Tender is the new it guy, but CJ's not a slouch. Far from it, if I'm being honest.
No, he's certainly a guy who, the pedigree alone, playing at Boston College, playing alongside a guy who's played in a Super Bowl, started in a Super Bowl, and has the pedigree of that background. And also in high school, he was a really accomplished quarterback. He's a guy that can really bring a solid veteran presence and sling the pill. Like, he can get opportunities for these guys. And we have Travis Hall, former Florida and Nevada cornerback, in the lineup for the Animals today. Macho also returning into the lineup today, and that's a big addition for this team, a big addition for that offensive line against the BIC. A couple of key misses in that game, missing out on Isaiah Gonzalez as well. Isaiah Gonzalez is a key weapon for that offense.
Oh, man, if I'm going to be honest with you, I think that was their biggest miss last week against the BIC. The way he can help the Animals stretch the field, the way he can provide better block. I don't think Tender is hurt if he's out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that not having him did, but he's here this week, and let's see what they can do.
And the Animals will get the ball. The Hawks won the toss. They will defer until the second half. And the A7FL Games of the Week are brought to you by our friends at Gator Tech. Get yourself protected with the Gator Skin Shiesty, shown to reduce concussion risk by up to 79%. This protective Shiesty is engineered with absorption material to help keep you safer during high-impact hits. Visit G8RTech.com. That's G8RTech.com, and use the code A7FL25 for 10% today. Or just scan the QR code on the screen. It's so simple. Just do the thing. Get your phone out, go click, and do the thing. Gator Tech, proud sponsor of the A7FL. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. Rob, so good to have you back in the booth, buddy. It's been
great to be back. Great to be back.
For those who don't know, Rob was unable to join us 2 weeks ago. He was on assignment, and we found out he was on assignment 6 hours before we were on the air, and it turned into the Blues Brothers, where it's just us trying to find any and everything to keep this going. I almost had to have Cole go in place of Rob, which, if you knew where Rob was on assignment to, would have been hilarious. Shout out to Cole Gardella, our statistician. But there we see Trey Baskerville, a former defensive player of the year, a solid addition to this Animals defense. The one thing that people talked about and noticed on the stat sheet was the defense of the Animals last season. They've added Robert Long in the secondary. They've added some key pieces here, Rob. The Santisteban brothers have shown that they really have been recruiting. They've been putting the work in, pardon me.
They definitely have. And it's showing. I mean, it's been showing for the last 2-3 seasons what the Santisteban brothers have been doing. And honestly, I told them before, I'm very proud of them. They're making the Animals a household name in this league, and that's not easy to do. It wasn't easy to do, and they did it without Huff, without all this other stuff. I'm very proud of the Animals.
And it will be Alex Redner taking back the ball. He'll be returning it for the Animals in the silver with red stripes and the logo on the front. Will be interesting to see how the Animals offense works without Tender. We saw that a little bit a couple of weeks ago when Tender got hurt. But right here, right now, an opportunity for this team to experiment as we prepare to throw it off here on a beautiful, but you can see very windy day. You can see it it was so windy we couldn't hang the banners today because of the wind right off the water. And I live right off the water, Rob, and the wind was whipping today.
Welcome to Asbury, baby.
Asbury, where weather is beautiful but windy. It's smarch weather. If you're a Simpsons fan, you know what that means. Lousy smarch weather. But that ball does not go the requisite distance. It has to go past the 25-yard line. So we're going to have a dead ball run here. That tackle. As the referees confer there's a flag on the play, there was a violation on the throw.
Just take a look at the referee's outfit just whipping in the wind.
It is.
This is where I would tell Corey, hey, buddy.
Run the ball.
Yes, you run the ball. But,
halfback dive. Halfback dive, brother. Halfback dive. I formation, halfback dive, A button. You're just going about your day.
Got to see what he wants to do, though. I know what he wants to do. Got to see if he'll do it.
Oh, him is on the back of the jersey on the dead ball run. First play of the afternoon. Opportunity, but he will only get past the 45. A solid starting position for Johnson and the Animals offense as the clock will begin to run in just a moment. That's the unique thing about the A7FL. No kickoffs, no kicking. You solve it with a 3-on-1 throw-off to start the game, start the half, or after a touchdown. And also, it's our version of a punt. We'll explain more on that later, but 7-on-7 football, no pads, no helmets, all action. You see Jay Rolla helping walk to the line. Veteran presence.
Wow, this is a heavy offensive front. It's going to be very different than what we're used to with David Tender.
They've adjusted for the wind. Player in motion, the handoff, cuts to the inside, and there's a big opportunity. Wow. Sets the block, sets the seam, gets free, can't get all the way, and that is Omari Thomas on the carry. Don't be sorry for Omari as he gets the first down, the former Watchman, showing why you got to watch this. Big addition for this Animals offense has really opened up the running game and give more opportunities to Quani Morgan on the pass game.
Take a look at that block from Jay Rolla. It's a big angry. And then Omari just does the rest. That's it. They're too big up front, and that's kind of what we were looking for last week. I'm going to be honest with you. It might be a different game if they have that type of size because we know BIC historically isn't too great against such a heavy offensive line.
And doing it in the low-cut cleats, too. My goodness, another solid chunk of yardage for the Animals as they will move that forward with Thomas. It'll be second down.
That wasn't a bad pickup either. But, again, it's really about what that offensive line could do.
As we take a look at some of the key players for the Animals, David Tender not in the lineup. Manny Diaz, Quani Morgan. You got KP, one of the best young receivers in the league, and Omari Thomas. Not many teams in the A7FL. I can only think of the BIC and the defending back-to-back champion Insomniacs, Rob, that have that level of skill, that level of depth on offense. Gonzalez considers himself an eligible receiver in motion. On first down.
He's out. Take a look at him.
Johnson throws to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Animals. Don't call him a Papa Smurf because he's not smurfing around. Gonzalez with the tutty. 6-0 Animals.
And Gonzalez was a huge missing piece for them last week. You see how he just stretched it. He didn't even stay to block. They have enough presence up front that he just took off. And I just finished telling you, CJ didn't like running tight ends. I guess he just didn't like me. Take a look. Gonzalez just takes off. But Jay Roller supports the block. He has all the time in the world and is right there. Nice pocket. Yeah, they missed him last week.
And he broke it. And he broke the replay. Touchdown so incredible, so crafty that it broke the camera. And they will go for 2 from the 10. The throw from Johnson to the end zone. There, past the camera. And they will count that one. And the Animals, after the loss to the BIC, show up and show out, and they get the 2 points on the board. That's Larry Wingo making the catch, and it will be 8-0.
And they're not missing a beat, Matt. They came right out, and they look exactly how they did last week. They're not missing it at all.
And we take a look at the replay here. Keeps it, and then just finds them right there, caught beneath the landslide. And the Animals not sipping champagne yet. Our cameraman getting hazard pay after that one. The storm clouds are gathering, but if you want to gather the best from your content, utilize the interactive AI video engine from our friends over at Scene. Scan the QR code now and see how you can get the next level of monetization and management for your data files. Scan the QR code now, or you can take a look at what it does for you and your business at A7FL.tv. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. The Animals score early off of Omari Thomas setting up CJ for a big pass to Isaiah Gonzalez.
And do you think they were missing anything there, Matt? It was just like business as usual.
Yeah, it felt a little slower, not in a bad way, but more measured. And that ball will bounce back out of the end zone, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Hawks. No chance to run it on a dead ball down.
And I feel it. You know, David Tender probably would have scored in 2 plays. They scored in 3. I get you. Yeah, it definitely was slower, for sure.
And we take a look at some of the key players. You got Delron Simmons, Amir, Chick Morris, Zareel Wright at wide receiver, Bobby Newman, Mr. Do Everything, and at quarterback, our friend and yours, LaCorrence Hammond. Are we going to see Corrence or LaCorey, you think, today, Rob?
With this win, I would hope we see LaCorey, but we got to wait and see. We got to see how Corey feels.
It'll be 1st and 10. If you want to be a part of the conversation, go to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat.
They come out trips left.
Shout out to Sid and Shirley watching along with us today. And either a timeout or quite possibly, the wind knocked the benches over. Welcome to New Jersey, everybody.
Yeah, if you thought we were joking about how bad the wind was.
Is restless.
Yeah, we are not joking about the wind. It's that bad. It is legitimately that bad.
That is not ideal. The ghost of Bobby Knight has come to Asbury Park. Shout out to my producer and yours, Alex Boom Boom Soberman, and our director, David Soberman. In motion, Hammond on 1st down, a quick screen, and that's through the legs of, I believe, Zareel Wright, and it will be 2nd down.
He will, listen, he will throw that ball for the rest of his life. He does not mind.
That
wasn't a bad throw, but
also you're anticipating the run there on 1st down, so you're trying to get the jump on him. I agree with you.
If you're watching Corey's film, you would never anticipate.
Well,
that's how he gets you. He gets you.
He gets you. It's like playing Madden against somebody, the eternal wild card. You're just like, oh, there's a rhythm to this game that they're gonna follow. No, they just go Hail Mary on 1st and 10.
It's insane.
Hammond snaps it, fakes, tosses it across the middle.
Nice.
That's a 1st down and more. Corey Hammond with the throw gets it to the 50, brought down. 1st and 10, crosses through, and another huge play on this Hawks passing game. And it's been first big play of the game, but we've seen it again and again. If you give Corey Hammond time, he can get somebody who's open and make a 1st down.
He can definitely do damage if you give him time. But this is his game. This is what I expect. I expect no matter what the elements tell him, it's going to be a pass.
And it will be an empty backfield. He's young and strong and still running against the wind like Bob Seger off the screen. It works that time to get past the 45. It'll be 2nd down. And they'll give it about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. And the Animals defense caught off on their back foot there, Rob.
I mean, I hope they're not expecting a run and Corey's just passing them to death. I hope that's not the case.
Especially when the backfield was empty on that last play. At that point, they're just, you got to know, hey.
He's not running it, guys. He's not running it.
And right now around the A7FL, the gold leading the stealth out west. As it's the battle of gold and the silver state. The snap on second down. Hammond,
Great
that's
protection.
caught.
Wow.
Will not get the first down, but will get them about 1.5 yards short. It will be third down.
Phenomenal protection.
And we take a look at some Hammond highlights from earlier in the season. And Corey has a cannon for an arm. You see the offensive line, when they give him time, he's able to make those decisions. But anybody in this league with the panic button behind center, there are very few guys who have the offensive line collapse around them who can make those kinds of decisions outside of Sterry Codrington and Quattro Huffin.
It's not too many guys that can do that in this league.
Watch the beef coming off the line there for the Animals, but watch Trey Baskerville off the edge. The handoff, the toss back, that is to Zareel Wright, and Wright will get the first down. Went back 5 to gain 2, and it will be 1st and 10 inside the 35.
I mean, so far so good. He's proven me wrong, but it's intentional. It's intentional. It's all on purpose. This is all to say, hey, Big Rob, how about that running? You know, it's all intentional.
You're just anticipating a text after the game.
Yeah. But I had to run the ball, big fella. Like, I thought you did too.
I said as such. And it looks like a timeout called by the Animals.
Yeah, they have to get back to the drawing board. Again, they're allowing Corey to throw the ball all over them in these conditions. It's kind of, you're kind of looking back like, wait a second, who's running this defense right now? What's going on? Or what are we not paying attention to?
And there you see Robert Long and Divine Epps out there as well. Divine Epps returning back to the lineup. Some solid speed in the secondary for the Animals. But they've been caught under a lot of underneath plays. They haven't extended the field that much. It's been over the middle, by the sideline. Hammond's just trying to piece them up. George Foreman and Michael Moorer. I'll drop $1 in the jar for that reference. Hammond, he extends it that time and somehow gets the playoff, gets the catch, and that's another first down. And that's number 14. Divine Epps on the coverage. Number 49, Quran Klein on the catch.
Wow, Quran Klein, he's one of my favorite players from back in the day because of how much potential he had as a wide receiver. He's very tall, he's deceptively fast, and plenty strong. He might not have the same step he had back then, but I see the hands didn't go anywhere, and neither did the attitude.
Yeah, that attitude. He that's just mean. And there's another handoff, and that one will get about 1 yard. Baskerville in on there with Santisteban. That was Bebo on the run.
So far, so good. Corey's dialing it up, and everything he's doing is working. I mean, they're taking their time. They're being methodical about it, and they're driving down the field on, arguably one of the best teams in the league.
It'll be 2nd and 9. 8:30 left to go in the half. Animals have used one timeout. They're up 8-0. The Hawks walking down the clock. And that's got to be the strategy here, Rob. Utilize as much time as possible. Keep the Animals' offense off the field for as long as possible. Try to just get in there, get a tie, and then build off of it. Especially when you get the ball at half. Hammond will keep it. Corey Hammond! He gets about a gain of 8. It'll be 3rd and 2. And what a play from Hammond utilizing the shit. It's all in the hips, Rob. It's all in the hips.
Somebody's getting benched right after that. I promise you.
Let's take a look again at the replay. Rob, break it down.
Corey Hammond with a juke. No way.
Give it to him.
Trey Baskerville with the hit, but I guess nobody believed he would have kept it. But he's known to keep it. He's really known to do these things. I'm very surprised that they let him get away with one.
He's pulled off like 1 or 2 a game at this point. And there's the handoff to Simmons. Simmons showing that grit, that grind, and they will give him the first down.
And Trey Baskerville was able to slow him up, almost missed it, almost had me looking at him a little funny, almost missed it, but he was able to slow him up to help his teammates get to him and stop him. And that's what you want from your defensive player of the year. You know, he has to be the one to make these impact plays.
7:03 remaining in the first quarter. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. The Animals leading 8-0 against the Hawks. And Rob, that matchup there, the length in terms of just arms and legs, the massive size of Trey Baskerville against Simmons, who's more compact, built like a Ron Dane. That was the real interesting show there. Just Baskerville utilized that length to try to slow Simmons down, and it looks like another flag. The first flag of the day will come out against the Hawks, and they will move back.
And that's one of Baskerville's most underrated attributes. His length, like the guy is very tall. He's just out there. So even when he has his arms stretched out, it's tough to deal with him. He's very tough to deal with him.
The range is insane. It was a false start on the offense. So it'll be 1st and 15. Following the penalty, a little bit of a switch. And it looks like a quarterback change in Vegas, but we'll have more on that later. 5:54 and counting. Simmons set out wide. Watch the pressure from the defense. Hammond throws. That one is tipped and almost intercepted. Defensive line had the break on it there. That was Gonzalez coming off the edge.
That's a dangerous guy to have off your edge.
Right now, out of the players coming out of the East, a Rookie of the Year contender to say the least. Because he has been dominant on both sides of the ball and such a key weapon. We'll take a brief timeout and we'll be back with more. 5:39 left to go in the first quarter. 8-0, Animals with the lead. The Hawks driving. Can they score? We'll find out next on the A7FL Games of the Week. Get the uniforms you see on the field. Get the official A7FL jersey customized for you as the Animals return to offense. That was a 4th down stop by the Animals defense. Not a first down from the Hawks. We apologize for that. The Sticks are going to get yelled at after this game. But it'll be 1st and 10 for the Animals. Go to tpg-sports.com for your custom A7FL jersey now. And a man who's looking to get some jerseys made in his honor screens down the sideline on 1st down, and he grinds it for over 15 yards. Another 1st down and a huge rush. 8-0 1st down, and that's where you can get custom athletic uniforms built for athletes, obviously, and sports of all ages. After that one, holding on to that jersey. Scan the QR code now to get your custom A7FL jersey or partner with TPG Sports. Now go to tpg-sports.com. What a run there, Rob.
What a run. What a run. And he's just showing his worth and his value. I'm just very surprised that Baltimore would let a guy like that go to a budding team like the Animals.
It's already paid off for him because they beat the Watchmen so far this season. And another quick handoff, this time not getting as much yardage. That was number 14 on the carry. Divine Epps, and it will be 2nd down. Gonzalez set up on the line alongside Macho, who makes his return to the lineup today. Watch for Diaz at the bottom of your screen. Johnson rolls out to his right. He will get on his bicycle, and he will trot out past the 50 inside the 47.
Told you guys. I mean, you see it in Chris Johnson. This is a great stop here. This is a great stop. Good tackle, way to wrap the legs. But that's just a great stop in general.
340. Pardon? Go ahead.
But,
go ahead, Rob.
Go ahead. No, so you've seen Chris Johnson and the ability to stretch the field with his legs again. When he was younger, I mean, that might have gone for another 25 yards, if not a touchdown. He had that kind of explosive speed. But nowadays he might not be doing that, but you can still see it.
3:26 and counting. The handoff, this time cutting to the sideline, pushes the pile. And that will get them to the 44, and it will be second down.
Got to do your push-ups. And they seem like I don't see Kwani Morgan out there.
That was Wingo on the carry. Yeah, no Kwani Morgan today, no David Tender. The animal's putting together a more flexed lineup.
I'm not mad at it.
No?
These other guys a chance to rock and show that you have depth.
And that's one thing that when you're heading into the playoffs, you are going to need, especially knowing what the BIC are ready to throw at people, what the Insomniacs are ready to throw at people. It's 4th and 1. The Animals on 4th down, send a man in motion. That's Wingo. The snap. The throw to the end zone. And that is incomplete, and the Hawks will get another chance at a score. It'll be first down.
Nice arm, a little too much sauce on it. Not sure what the call was there and why they went that way, but I'm guessing that one run where he gets the tackle, they're saying it's a turnover. Stopped their momentum completely. There's some confusion. There's definitely some confusion.
And the Animals frustrated as they walk off the sideline. There you see Richie Augusto and CJ managed with shepherding the offense today without David Tender in the lineup. It's yielded one touchdown off of a bunch of solid runs from Omari Thomas. Hammond so far 3 for 5, 52 yards, 1st and 10. The snap and the fakes the screen. Hammond dinks it, and that's swatted down. Tried to get it over to Pedro.
And again, it works, but guys have to block. I mean, it's the same story. Guys have to block for him, or else none of these plays are going to work.
They have to find just different ways to get past that front line, Rob. I completely agree. They have to utilize Delron a little bit more, break open this offense as much as possible.
Give Corey a chance, right?
Yeah. 3 on the line, 3 wide receivers. Simmons in the slot. In motion is Simmons.
Ooh.
And it looks like a false start on the offense. They will move back 5 yards, and it will be 2nd and 15. Or the offense, nope, the defense will get called with the penalty there.
Might be a little costly because, again, Corey Hammond's team, the Hawks, have been able to drive it down a bit. They haven't been able to punch it in, but they have shown that they can move the ball against this defense.
It was offsides on the defense. Watch for Baskerville there coming off the edge. Simmons in motion. Simmons will keep it, and Delron Simmons will push through the pile. He'll gain about 4, and it'll be 2nd and 1. Or 3rd and 1.
That is a phenomenal cutback. They just eliminated Trey Baskerville completely out of the play, and Delron cuts back and takes the yards. He is a great standout for this Hawks team.
I completely agree. He's been the bright spot of this offense all season long when he's been given the opportunity. It'll be 3rd and 1.
I personally think that the game should be played more through him, where we give him a bigger role. We allow defenses to look at film and key him. But, it opens up your offense a little bit if the defense is just kind of focused on this one guy that they think can get it done. And that's where I think a guy like Corey can shine, have the focus off of you for a bit.
And it's the end of the first quarter. Your score 8-0. The Hawks driving after getting a second life on a stop on 4th down. Will the Hawks find a way to get on the board? We'll find out next. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. A7FL Games of the Week. We're back here, 8-0 your score. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, you want to talk about what's going on screen, or if you got questions for me or Rob, go to a7fl.com/chat and download Locker Room Chat, whether you're on iPhone or Android today. Drop a comment, get a shout out. Corey Hammond looking to get a shot here at the end zone, looking to shout into the scoreboard. In motion is Simmons, the handoff. Simmons cuts around the edge and will only gain about a yard or two.
Needs a little bit more. Needs a little bit more than that. Simmons has to step up. And when his name is called, he has to step up because he needs to give this team another look. He has to be able to give Corey a spark where, again, they can key on Simmons. And then guys like Pedro can be open, or Beppo, who's looking to be a flex guy that can pretty much play any position on the offense. He has to be able to draw the attention of that defense to allow his other playmakers to go crazy.
It'll be 2nd and 9. In motion, the handoff, and that's Simmons again. Simmons could have cut to the outside, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Wow.
What a play there by Baskerville. He comes, and that's that range, it's that motion.
That is, yeah, it's the length, man. It's just, the guy is deceptive. Like, he's tall. He's a tall guy. So even when you're dealing with him, look at him off the edge. If you don't get a hit, look, he just comes right in. Off the cut, look at him right there to make it. He's kind of always there, even when you thought he was out of the picture. He's kind of always there.
That's why he won that DPOY a couple of seasons ago. It's why he was one of the most sought after guys the last 2 seasons to be added to the defensive line, because he's always able to make a play or set up a play. Rios in motion. Hammond on 3rd down to throw deep. Rios, and that's intercepted. And there is a big play for the Animals secondary. Rios got caught up in the lights and gets around the Malherbe. We'll get past the initial line of scrimmage. My goodness. That is number 13, Robert Long. Robert Long going the long way round. And will get brought down at the 37. 1st and 10 for the Animals, as after the first drive of the game, neither team has been able to score. That's the first traditional turnover of the day, along with another interception on the season. After 3 straight turnover on downs, the Animals get the ball back And they get it the hard way off a pick, and Hammond got hit by Baskerville there. Rio's trying to track it down, just could not get to where the ball was. Great tracking there by Long.
A little too much sauce on it.
Was he trying to compensate for the wind? Either way.
I have to guess that's what it was. But, you know, if I'm compensating for the wind, I'm running the ball.
That's fair. That's how Rob you compensate.
Yeah, that's definitely. But then again, I'm not the right person to talk about it. I'll play Madden, and 80% of my run plays. I mean, my plays are run plays.
And that third pick gives Long the lone top position as most picks in the league, as he has 3 on the season. That was his third. He was tied with 4 other players with 2, but this one sets him above at the top right now per our stats. And shout out to Cole Gardella for passing that information along. We'll have fun facts like that all afternoon for you.
It was cold, Corey. It was cold.
Well, it's not a hey, Corey Hammond's a bum stat. It is a
no.
But it is a timeout call by the Hawks with 12:46 left to go in the half. Both teams burning 1 timeout. And we're on the road to the A7FL playoffs next week in the A7FL. The matchup to end the season, the ultimate matchup of our schedule, the Watchmen and the BIC. That game will be live next Sunday right here on the A7FL Games of the Week. To find out where you can watch the A7FL Games of the Week, go to a7fl.com/watch. 1st and 10. Johnson sends a man in motion. Little skadoink there, and that's Omari Thomas. Omari Thomas finds a way around the tackler. We'll see where they mark him out of play. They will give him the first down.
We're talking Big Angry, who's supposed to be your premier defensive tackle, making the play 10 yards away from the line of scrimmage. It's not what you want. That's not a little bit what you want. That kind of hurts. The fact that he's able to get there, sure, but 10 yards away, that means other guys aren't stepping up like they should. And Big Angry needs help.
Anytime you have a defensive lineman on the back foot as a defense, you know you are in trouble. Heavy line for the Animals, 1st and 10. Johnson will throw. He will roll out to his right. He will have to get on his bicycle. Finds the check down in Gonzalez. And Gonzalez, like a young Mark Bravaro, taking an entire team to get the first down and then some. The big man keeps it moving.
Now you telling me that young man right there wouldn't have made a difference last week with plays like that? You kidding? This is not even a check down. This is CJ seeing that, all right, my legs are a little old. I look good, though. Let me just get this little pop pass off. But look at this guy.
Just a little flick of the wrist, just that little jump shot throw to a guy who can bulldoze Delron. Watch that. That's like 6 dudes.
6 guys.
That is the majority of an A7FL defense. That is a quorum.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's the size of a Senate Judiciary Committee, I think.
Yeah, he's a difficult guy to deal with. He's going to be this difficult to deal with all year as long as he stays healthy.
Johnson, empty bat. Well, one man set to his left. Throws to the end zone, swatted at the line. And Big Angry trying to get a little bit of recompense.
There we go.
Garcia with the swat. Watch number 14. That is on. Set up aside some of these guys. That's Damon Patillo, I believe. A small man aside from set up against those monsters on the Hawks defense, and just
there we go. And that's what you want from Big Angry. That's what you want from your premier defensive player.
Living up to what his name is, Big and Angry. The handoff, and that's Omari Thomas again. Omari Thomas slide, take it to the house. What a play there from Thomas. He gets another big touchdown on the season and a quick handoff as it's 14-0 Animals. Exactly what you would want from this running game. Omari Thomas, the bell cow today. No sign of Kwani Morgan, but even with this stripped-down acoustic lineup on offense, they are still electric as you see Omari Thomas get past Delron Simmons, 2 great runners in this league, and then you see 14, sir, get off my back, and into the end zone. Omari Thomas unbothered And this Renegades offense looking comfortable, looking confident, despite missing 2 key pieces, Rob. They'll be going for the extra point. The snap. Johnson going for 2. Steps up. Rolls, dinks, doinks, gets it to him. And they will say no good.
No touchdown. Wow.
Manny Diaz tried to get into the end zone for the extra point. It looks like they did not give it to him. Even though it's 16-0 now. Well, wait, it seems like they gave it. Once we have official word, because the initial official, my goodness. The initial official, the Dr. Seuss book now. But, folks, if you want to protect yourself on the field while looking dope, get more protected with the Gator Skin Shiesty, shown to prevent up to 79% of concussion effects. You can find out more and get 10% off by going to GatorTech.com and using the code A7FL25. That's GatorTech.com. with the code A7FL25 for 10% off. And let's take a look at the replay. I think we're challenging this here. Johnson made the throw. It's caught by Diaz. And he crosses the goal line.
Does he?
But because the stick is knocked down.
Yeah,
the stick is knocked down. They're calling it good. So per the review, it is 16-0.
Okay. The angle was just awkward. I mean, it's an awkward angle, but a great throw, great catch. And if that's 6, that's 6. Well,
I think they just took all the scores away, but you can't take away what has Omari Thomas. Omari Thomas on the day, 77 rushing yards. The Hawks offense, 70 total yards.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's there's a Gardella guaranteed stat. The bobbled the catch. It's an unsuccessful conversion. So per the review, it is bobbled, no good. So 14-0 is your score. Remains 2-score differential. I would like to thank all 55 people who informed me that it was no good. But it will be the Hawks throwing the ball off here. That is Davila. We'll be throwing it off for the Animals. The Hawks down 14-0, 10:02 left to go in the half. That is not me in the highlighter walking down the field. I'm in the booth. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. And Rob will have some Vegas action a little later. We'll be joining Sick With It as they battle the Hunters. That'll be at 4 o'clock. A 3-on-1 return now for the Hawks.
Ooh.
Sets around the blocker. Tried to get, and a little extra sauce there from number 14.
And
that's Divine Epps.
Yeah, that's the flag on that.
And ruined the man's jersey. Ruins the real rights jersey.
Yeah, there's no need for that.
None whatsoever.
You got the tackle. He's out of bounds. He can't jump back in bounds and score on you or anything like that. You got it. Oh my God, he opened his chest up. Oh, wow.
Hey, it looks like me during the 7 o'clock game last season. Three button Jones.
Yeah, a button-up jersey's insane.
Someone get a seamstress. Is anybody?
That's crazy.
Would you wear a button-down football jersey?
Can I pull it off without somebody saying something to me about it? Sure, but that's just because.
What if it was a jersey vest? If it was a tuxedo where the vest was a jersey?
I mean, I wore a soccer jersey as an A7FL jersey before, so, you know.
1st and 10. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. 10:02 left to go. They'll be set up at the 50 after the return and the ensuing penalty. And I want to shout out the chat watching along. Booby Miles in the chat. Bubba A24. Shout out Heinz57, Dem LRC joining us, and you could be a part of the conversation. I didn't even see the play go off. A7FL.com/chat. That was Simmons on the carry. He gets brought down behind the line. It'll be second down.
It looks like Trey Baskerville on a stop. Again, he's just having one of those games.
And the clock continuing to run. Hammond trying to get some rhythm back after the interception from Long. And just missing some key weapons in terms of just establishing a rhythm. Not able to, like they were in the first couple of drives. Right here, they're a little slowed. It looks like the Animals defense may have figured them out. The throw, that one is caught. And here's an opportunity for the Hawks. Midway through the second quarter, they'll get the first down.
And there it is again. Like, Corey is he's able to get the ball off. Like,
that's Yacht Dadon on the catch.
He has the ability, but I feel like he abandons everything in order to get these passes off. Like, we know you can throw it. We know you have it. It's just...
Well, if on first down they go for the run and they get stopped at the line and the defensive pressure is that to where both edge rushers are in his face, it's like I don't know if there's a lot you can do. 8:35 left to go. But I see your point, Rob, but right now the Animals' rush attack is making Corey Hammond have to make split-second decisions either way because they've been stopping Delron on the rush. Because let's see that last play. Just immediately met right there. Swarmed, smothered, and covered on the line.
But it's almost as if, like, what kind of play call was that? Like, I didn't see where they thought that run would have gone.
I think it's just going with Delron's being as strong as he is, just trying to get just trying to push the defense forward. But an empty backfield. Oh, watch the backstack there. Hammond tosses it back. That's to Bebo. Bebo will run. He tries to evade the entire defensive line, and that is LaPera on a stop.
Not enough speed, buddy. Wow.
Jeffrey LaPera, like Joe Para, putting you to sleep.
Oh, my goodness. He lets him have it. I thought Bebo had a little more speed than that. Sheesh.
It was like watching a wave crest over him because it was just a sea of gray coming down and just walking him.
Yikes.
And when you don't have Jason Sisson there in the backstack, you lose about like minus 15 in backstacking abilities because Jason Sisson is the guy in this league for a backstack unless you throw Ashante Worthy back there, and then just, that's the ball game. It would be very interesting to see the BIC roll that out, especially in the playoffs.
With the backstack?
Yeah. Simmons will set out wide. 3rd and 19. Hammond rolls, throws underneath. That's caught.
Pedro.
The Malherbe. Pedro Bauzo powers through there. Flame on like Bowser.
Telling you, such an underrated gem is Pedro. You guys don't understand. Pedro's underrated, underutilized.
He's built for plays like that. He is the ultimate check down guy.
Ultimate. He'll get the block too. That's a phenomenal block. And then he's just like, "Okay, Corey, I got you, buddy.
I did the first thing. Now let me do the second thing."
And look at the move on Pedro. Hush, I used to be faster than this. You can tell.
But the Malherbe gives him strength. The Malherbe is what keeps him going.
You could tell Pedro used to be a running back or something.
Oh, it's not a first down. It's 4th and 3. They called him out before the first down marker. The toss back to Simmons. Simmons gets brought down. He stays upright. Can he get there? No.
And you think Simmons has a chance because he makes the defensive player of the year miss. You think he got it, and then whoosh.
A wave of mutilation.
Yeah, it's just that Animals defense is something else, man. Like, they are something else. Those guys are good.
Call the Animals defense, Kim, because they are the deal. What a play there on 4th and 3 to get the stop. And it'll be 1st and 10 Animals as you see the wind blowing. We'll take a brief timeout. And when we return, it'll be the Hawks on defense. The Animals back with the ball. 14-0 your score. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Stay right where you are. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, rocking here with you. No malice in this palace as the Animals lead 14-0, getting another huge fourth down stop. And folks, if you want to break out the secret potential of your content, whether it's monetization or otherwise, utilize our friends over at Scene, S-triple-E-N. We'll tell you more about them in a moment. Gonzalez in motion, and the big man will get the ball, and he will spin out. Simmons helps with the stop, and what a play there. And if you want to unlock the potential like the Hawks just did on defense with your video, utilize the interactive tools from Scene. Scan the QR code or go to S-triple-E-N.com and learn more. See how it's done in real time with shoppable prompts and more at A7FL.tv. That's A7FL.tv. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, the latter portion of our first half. It'll be second down and about 13. Ball set on the 25. Johnson off the screen. That will get him past the initial line of scrimmage. Tossed back, and that is Manny Diaz. Diaz will screen down the sideline. Manny Diaz stays in bounds. Wow. He gets it past the 40, and it takes another two guys to bring him down. First down, Animals.
And if you were wondering if Manny Diaz is the premier player that everyone, debates that he is, there's no debate. Manny Diaz is that guy over there. To be able to get the ball right here, make this one move, and that's a great block by CJ. And a great block by Gonzalez. He just explodes. That is what you want from your number one wide receiver.
And to do that in Jordan 1s
is insane. Michael Jordan didn't play football, man. What's going on here?
Imagine if he was a Denver Bronco. That'd be weird.
They would have clapped Michael Jordan.
CJ looking to get something going, cannot get there, and there's the flag.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's a flag for sure.
That young man checked his shoulder size like he was sizing him for a bar mitzvah suit. My goodness. Big.
Give me a hug, buddy.
Gets the PI, and not a private investigator, but a pass interference, and Diaz will check out. It'll be first down for the Animals. 3:41 and counting here in our first half. Animals scoring off the back of an amazing rushing attack and some help from Manny Diaz and Isaiah Gonzalez. David Tender, MVP candidate in my opinion, Offensive Player of the Year candidate as well. Out and CJ in. Johnson rolls out in trouble. Under pressure, pushing down on him, almost intercepted in the end zone. But the Birds and the Peanut Gallery will have something to say about that. It will be third down, Rob.
And honestly, if the Hawks were able to continue that type of pressure down after down, I mean, we're talking about a very different game against anyone. I mean,
and honestly,
there.
This Animals offense, even without Tender and without Kwani Morgan, you have three dynamic weapons to go against, and they've only kept them. And look, CJ, 3 for 6, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Not an awful stat line by any means.
Definitely not. But not a David Tender stat line either. So do they miss Tender? Sure.
Is he needed in this situation? We'll see as the game goes on for certain, because the Hawks defense have created some pressure. The handoff, that's loose. That's a knockdown ball. The Hawks get it. Wow. The handoff to Diaz does not go the way they want it to, and it ends up with the Hawks. Number 6, Mike Johnson getting the stop, getting the ball, and the Hawks with 2:32 and the ball at half, Rob, get a chance to get on the board again.
Too fancy, man. Too fancy. What is it? Kiss, keep it simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we got to do the things we know work, and I get it. Like, we're trying to catch them off guard or out of position or not paying attention, but you end up doing a little too much, and that's the result.
Much like Doris and Gertie, they were gambling with too much there, and they gave away the GOAT 14-0. Your score, Hammond 6 for 10 on the day, 82 yards, 1 INT. Looking to add a touchdown to that, and also I think Corey got a haircut. Turncoat.
Corey always has a haircut.
Turncoat.
That's his problem. He needs to let the hair grow.
Long hair Corey equals look Corey. Is that what you're telling me, Rob?
Yeah, he's such a better player with long hair. He's bugging.
1st and 10. They swarm, and they bring him down. Baskerville does the dance. And that was Number 99 in on that tackle as well. That's Chauncey Mulkin. And 2 A7FL vets coming off the edge, crushing another vet.
And that is a disgusting hold, by the way. I mean, Corey dropped back a little too much, and those are the things I hated when quarterbacks did that. Like, they drop back to the point where these guys are just beelining it to you instead of you taking that step up.
Not where you want it. And at the 2-minute warning, we'll take a brief timeout. Can Hammond and the Hawks get on the board before halftime, or will they have a mountain to climb? We'll find out if the landslide brings them down after this at the 2-minute warning. We are back live. It's the A7FL Games of the Week, and Corey Hammond with the wind in his face. In a 14-0 deficit, Big Rob Fabian has to make something happen against a voracious Animals defense, up 14-0 with just 2 minutes left to go in the half.
It's not an easy job, and somehow Corey and the Hawks are staying in the fight. I mean, down 2 scores only. 2 scores, 2 one-point conversions.
And Hammond gets it off to Simmons. Simmons drives and pulls. Almost got 2 humans off of him, but the clock will continue to run. Both teams have 2 timeouts, and Rob, right now, Hawks playing with a little bit of house money, but do need to make a big play quick.
They have to. They got to figure it out. They got to figure out what their strike play is, how they can get in the end zone really quick to put some numbers on that scoreboard, man. They need that right now.
Hammond, that ball swatted. It will be 3rd down.
And you got to ask yourself how much of the weather's playing into a factor of Hammond's, like, passes getting swatted. Is he trying to keep them low to cut through the wind? Is like, what is he trying to do? Because these passes are getting smacked around.
Corey, knowing he was on television there for a second correction, it'll be 4th and 5, and we'll see again off the pressure.
Oh my goodness, Big Angry, no way! And the ref has to call that. That's bad.
And the fact that Baskerville was able to get inside and still get that pressure though off of that.
I'm telling you, coaches would be proud, because what does a coach tell you, man? Even fight through the hold. Don't complain about the hold. Yell to the ref and saying, "Oh, he has me. He's touching me." Fight through it. You make the play.
And it will be a throw-off here on 4th down. Amir Meyer will throw this one off for the Hawks, giving the Animals an untimed down and a chance to make it a 3-score lead. Even if they don't get even if they don't return this one here, or the ball turns inbounds, because if the ball goes out of bounds, it will be marked where it landed, or where it went out of play, pardon me. And that one will be thrown to the sideline, and a solid enough throw, and they'll mark it down around the 35. No, closer to the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Very smart.
1st and 10 with 1:11 left to go. And, Rob, we've seen some sparks from the Old Bridge defense. They've been really keeping the Animals away, even though it's 14-0. They've had some huge 4th down stops. And you wonder what this Animals defense's goal is with this day, aside from winning the game. Is it testing out different versions of this offense heading into the playoffs? Is it different looks on defense? Are they trying to solidify depth and backup options?
I do think that's probably the main thing, solidifying depth, because you got to see what you got. Oh, my goodness.
The toss to the outside. Gonzalez makes the catch. catch. Gonzalez screams down the sideline. That man is smurfing incredible. Gonzalez gets the first down and stops the clock under a minute to go.
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, do you want to get in front of that? Do you want to tackle that? Does anybody want to tackle that? Raise your hand.
I would turn into a maitre d' and show him to his table. Show him the soup and salad specials. Hope to get a nice gratuity at the end of it. Just watch this replay.
Look at this, and it's showing you who CJ used to be, in that he gets out of the pressure. He gets it right now. This is just a phenomenal catch by Gonzalez. But who wants to get in front of this? Look at this guy. Nobody wants to get in front. Yeah, I tried to tackle him, but
are there, and watch the hezzy that he did. The stop hezzy to try to get Bebo.
The hezzy's crazy. Come on, big fella. You don't need that hezzy.
How often is it that a tight end could be the rookie of the year in this league, Rob?
Oh, very rare.
It's just what he means to just opening up this offense. Watch that right there.
Look at that.
The elusiveness by the quarterback, and then immediately just being able to bobble, catch it. That's a street ball play. That's what we would do in Sunset Park. That ball goes bobbles, you go up and you run.
He's dangerous.
And they're checking to see if Gonzalez was an eligible receiver, but I do believe by the merit of the rule, I'm not sure how the declaration rule did change this year.
Really?
I'm unclear on how that came out, but it looks like the Hawks have the ball back. As that was a fourth down play. As we await word from the officials. Gonzalez seemingly never raised his arm to make himself eligible.
Oh.
So it could be an ineligible receiver play.
They're going to catch a lot of teams with that, I'm telling you.
That was first down.
Wow, he didn't raise his hand.
Correction, that was first down. I don't know why the Hawks were on the field with the ball. That was confusing. So the Animals keep it. But we're waiting to see what the actual play was. So it seems it'll be 1st and 20 after the penalty. And Rob, that is not what you want after making something like that happen.
At all.
Especially when you just have that, you just completely shift the momentum going into half and give your defense a big chance to go up by a 3-score lead.
That's really what they did.
With the lack of eligibility and the defense closing
in.
Big
Angry, finally.
Big Angry shuts the door. And it is almost after hours in this first half. And we'll see again. Johnson and the Animals tried to make this night last forever, but pressure and Big Angry Garcia finally, he's come close a couple of times this season, but a big sack on second down as the Hawks defense bailed them out a little bit.
That's definitely what you want to see from Big Angry. Again, he's the guy. He's the premier guy. That's what you want.
And if you're joining us for the first time and you're wondering, why is 7-on-7 football a thing? Because it's more exciting, sillies. No helmets, no pads, all action. And if you're wondering why the clock stopped earlier and why it didn't earlier in the game, under 2 minutes, Johnson off the screen. I'll explain all that more later. As they push through the pile and get out of bounds, the clock will stop again on 2nd and 27. It'll be 3rd and a little less than that after the timeout from the Animals. And 33 seconds left on the clock. The Hawks defense answering the call here after Gonzalez was ruled ineligible and that huge sack on Johnson.
Crazy. Guys got a simple mistake, got to make sure you get that hand up and mark yourself eligible. I used to just throw my hand up just because.
Just out of habit, just to give you that.
Just out of habit, yeah. And I'd hold it up because that's one of the last things you want to hear that you weren't eligible and you got a good play, you got a catch. And shouts to the referees for even paying attention to that. A lot of guys would have missed that.
The snap on 3rd and 22. The throw deep. That is intercepted! Bebo Rios on the interception! What a play there! Got underneath Wingo and pulled out, and got the pop. Big play there by Diaz. Rios. David Rios on the interception. Bebo Rios giving the Hawks more life and their first INT of the day late here in the half that looked like it was intended for Diaz. But did a flag? I saw a flag get thrown as well.
I saw a flag. It looked like he either overthrew Diaz or underthrew the other guy. I can't even tell.
Either way, it was perfectly placed for Bebo, as it will be 1st and 10 with 23 seconds left to go in the half. As we get a little bit of technical difficulties here in Asbury Park. Matt Ryan here with you on the A7FL Games of the Week, and we have just a few minutes left in our first half as it was holding call on the Animals.
Oh, that's tough.
As we have some more technical difficulties, but we're back now with 23 seconds left to go in the half. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. And right now the Animals have a bit of momentum. They're in charge. But the Hawks get the ball at the half, and with 23 seconds and 2 timeouts, Rob could make a move to try to get into the end zone, make this 14-6. The snap, Hammond throws this one underneath. That's caught by Simmons. The toss back, and they will get the first down and stop the clock with 17 left to go, and that was Zareel Wright on the reception.
I mean, the Animals are allowing the Hawks to stay very close in this game, and Corey and company have to figure out a way to score before this half. Like, you want to go into this half with the momentum, knowing like, hey, we got them. We can get this, guys. We can do it. You can cause a huge stir and a huge upset by beating the Animals here.
Ooh, they get them to jump the line and break the pixels. And Corey Hammond on the cadence moves them up 5 yards.
That's tough. Very tough.
Rough sledding for the Animals defense here, as it'll be 1st and 5 with 17 seconds left to go in our first half. Watch the receiver at the bottom of your screen. What can Hammond pull off here? 1st and 5, the snap. Hammond steps up. He gets brought down. Another big sack from this Animals defense, and it looks like that. Oh, he's hurt on the play.
Hammond's a big guy. And I don't know if people realize how heavy Corey is.
He got the wind knocked out of him. Yeah, Corey's like 215, 225.
Yeah, he's not some little quarterback that you're going to want to tackle that way. Like, Corey's a pretty big guy.
Sizable human. Sizable human. And with 11 seconds left to go in the half, it'll be 2nd and 5. And coming up a little bit later on A7FL.TV, we will have a big showdown for you. It will be the Hunters taking on Sickwit. That will be a little bit later on today on A7FL.TV. And there you are, Rob, and we are live on A7FL.TV and DAZN. 11 seconds left to go. 2nd and 5. Hammond and the Hawks looking to put some points on the board. Make it a one-score game. They'd have to get a touchdown and 2 points on the extra point attempt, but
they got to do something.
And apologies for the audio difficulties. We were jumping out of a bad video situation, and I'm running my own audio, so it's a little toughy. It'll be 2nd and 5. 2nd and 8, pardon me. The snap. Off the screen to Zareel Wright. Zareel Wright will scream downfield, and he will get out of play with 7 seconds, if not 6. They'll give him 6 seconds left in the half, and it'll be a 25. At the 25, it'll be 1st down.
Got to be smart here. Each play call has to get you just a bit closer with not losing a lot of time.
You just got to work the clock to your advantage, and They were doing that. They were doing that in the opposite sense, Rob. Early on in this game, they were running the ball a lot. They were trying to keep this just burn through time and utilize the clock for their advantage. But now it's 6 seconds and only one timeout left. Hammond's got to unload the cannon.
Yeah, he got to go for it, man. He'll have 2 opportunities, I think, to go for it here, depending on how much pressure he has and how quick he can release this pass. Say two chances.
Yeah, he's got about 3 seconds apiece. He's got to keep this first play under 3 seconds to give them any real chance. And you see the wind causing the camera to go a little which ways, and you just see how much that wind is playing a factor in today's game, giving them, I don't know how much it's played into the passing offense, but it's made the running game so vital, especially for the Animals. And Maury Thomas had over 70 yards just in the first couple of drives with his power running. He at one point had more total yards than the Hawks offense. Rios in motion. Hammond throws this one to the end zone. Cannot get there.
What a cannon on Hammond. Wow.
The Hammond cannon not setting up, and we see some highlights from earlier. And Hammond will have one last shot with 1 second left. They'll try to walk off the half here with a touchdown. At this point, Rob, do you just send everybody back? Do you just send?
You have to. You got to go for the gusto here. And Corey's the type that he'll do it. He'll definitely do it.
But do they do a Statue of Liberty, huck and chuck, pitchy situation here? Do we see them?
Huck and ladder, maybe.
If we see the backstack, then I think this is going to be a weird, wild play.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't backstack here. We see what happened last time.
But if those safeties are back and they're rushing 3,
you gotta really find your playmaker that can make these guys miss. And
giving the receivers ample space. Rios in motion. Hammond steps up. He finds, and that one is knocked away, and that's a live ball, and he is sent to the sideline and down, and that is how we end the first half. 1 half of football down, 1 left to go. The Animals with the lead, not as emphatic as one would think, but they are bouncing back after a big loss to the BIC. When we return, we'll have stats and more. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Back live on the A7FL Games of the Week, and it's brought to you by Locker Room Chat. Drop a comment, get a shout-out. Download the official chat app of the A7FL today by going to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. Or if you're lazy like me, scan the QR code now and get the app and the website directly on your device. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, and we're so glad you're joining us, whether you're in Baltimore, Bangalore, or in Brooklyn. We're so glad you are hanging out with us. 14-0 your scores. The Animals, without David Tender, have a 14-0 lead. And Big Rob, when we were looking at this game today, coming into the matchup, we expected the Animals to lead, but we've seen the Hawks defense step up a few key times.
For sure.
Without David Tender and Kwani Morgan, some of that explosivity, some of those plays might have not been sacks, may not have been, discarded balls, but we'll take a look at how we got here. Let's go to the highlights of this matchup in our first half. It would be the Animals starting off the day with the ball, Big Rob, and it would be Omari Thomas setting the table.
And, you see it. The Animals are still – the nucleus of the Animals isn't going to change regardless of who the quarterback is. Omari and Kwani are looking like 1 and 2, interchangeable, and they'll both be able to get you the same thing in certain positions. And CJ's no slouch.
And there's
right there.
To Gonzalez, a first touchdown after we're missing the game against the BIC.
Right.
And then on the extra point, getting it over to Wingo.
Easy money.
Yeah.
That's easy money, but they haven't really been able to replicate that. While Corey and company, they've got a lot of positive plays on the offensive side of the ball, and you think they'll be able to punch it in eventually, but for whatever reason, they just haven't had the luck. Like, look at these plays. A lot of decent plays. I thought that was a first down.
That should have been that was a first down.
Very confusing on that one. Oh no, they must have went back. I thought that was a first down. It's a first down as well, I would think.
And that's that's number 49. Karan Klein, the
oh
Fed.
My goodness.
And there was the LaCory run. You get at least one of those a game. But Hammond gets that ball swatted and nearly intercepted.
That's the defense of the Animals showing up. Red zone stoppers. And then Amari again just showing his worth. Jay Roller with the phenomenal block. Gonzalez coming back to help again.
That would lead to a 3-and-out drive and another big
tip.
Just that offensive line of the Hawks has created a ton of problems, but they create opportunities like this for Delron Simmons, but they could not get the first down. That would lead to the start of the second quarter, and they would continue to be behind enemy lines, Rob, not able to get those huge chunks of yardage as we saw in Week 1 when this Hawks offense unveiled itself to the A7FL world. And then a big play and then another interception for Robert Long, his 4th on the season, setting him at the top of the league after being tied in a 4-way tie for first with 2 entering Week 6. And this Animals defense would give them a huge opportunity to go up by 2 scores, as with 12:55, it would still be 8-0, but the Animals would continue to drive. And bringing in Omari Thomas one more time, this guy is just so good, Rob.
So good.
So good.
Very good. And again, a phenomenal pickup. And then CJ, again, no slouch, just making the play to his favorite target today, which is Gonzalez, who just bowls over everyone. Again, I don't think anyone wants to be in front of that young man trying to, there's nothing to do in front of that guy. I'll stay away.
And then
it was Mario with the us. Oh my goodness. What a move. What a move before getting in the end zone. That's what you want from your running back.
To be able to do that in such a scant amount of space is insane. And we see another first down there from Hammond and the Hawks. At certain times, this Hawks offense looked like it was clicking, but on plays like this against the backstack, a wave of mutilation.
Just a silly play call, in my opinion. That you have, there's just way too many different looks you can have than that. And then here's the pressure.
But there's the check down to Bauzo.
And Pedro's just doing what he's doing. Again, this is another one. This was 3rd and 19. Mm-hmm. So naturally, he couldn't get that full 19 yards.
And then there's that toss back to Manny Diaz, and Manny Diaz showing
he just explodes.
Just that burst of speed and his elusiveness and just the energy that, and then
there it is.
That miscommunication. New quarterback wide receiver combo. That's something the Animals run quite a lot. And then right here, Hammond again would be brought down. Trey Baskerville helping out on the sack. And those are your highlights through the first half. When we come back, we'll have stats and get you ready for our second half. The Animals with the lead. The Hawks will get the ball. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Download the chat. We'll see you in there. Back after this. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. And folks, download A7FL's chat. What are you doing? Hang out with us in the locker room chat. Come hang out with people from all across the world. What are you doing? Come on, be a pal. Let's take a look at the stats. And looks really close here, Rob, outside of the rushing. You know, the more pass yards for the Hawks, you had to expect that. The return yards pretty close, 32-18, both with 2 turnovers.
Right. We're talking what, barely 30 yards in differential for total yards.
28-yard difference between these two teams, but
yeah,
the scoreboard will be the thing that sets up the rest of this game, and the Animals have been able to convert just more weapons on offense, more opportunities to create and cultivate on those huge drives and huge downs. I think that if the Animals brought this offense to any other team today, I think this score's a little different. I think this game's a little closer. The Hawks have just not been able to convert on 4th down. The Animals defense have had their number in the rushing game. What would you want to work on right now if you were leading the Hawks on that offensive line, if you were in the huddle? What are the adjustments you would want to make sure that Corey Hammond and Delron Simmons have the time and space they need to get this game closer, especially when it comes to the rushing yards?
As an offensive line, the first thing I would want to do is establish the run. We got to give Corey's arm a break. 20 rushing yards is not good. It's disgusting. Then you got to think about how 4 or 5 of them are coming from Corey himself. And it's like, what are we doing as an offensive line that we're not able to get the proper push to give these guys a better opportunity to get us more rushing yards? Running opens the pass. I'm big on that. I feel like if you're able to run the ball, you can play action now because they have to respect the run. But if you can't establish the run at all, you'll get situations where, yes, Corey can get the pass off, but we haven't been able to see these guys put it in the end zone, not even once today.
And shout out to our producer, Alex Soberman, who we can hear every week alongside of us here on A7FL In Motion. You can watch that on a7fl.com/watch and learn more information about that. And Rob, as we get the first half in the books and the second half ready to throw off, the Hawks will get the ball. We got another game coming up today at 4 o'clock. We will be joining in progress a battle between the Sick With It, who look to maintain their second spot in the West, and the Hunters. The Hunters took a fall to the gold during the regular season, and right now need a huge. This would be the hugest win in their team's history if they were able to pull this off, but they need to get taped up before they step onto the field. Head on over to Tape Me Up. Get taped up like a pro, as professional athletic training services are provided to athletes of all sports and ages. Find out how you can get taped up by going to tapemeup.net. That's tapemeup.net, or scan the QR code now. The bench that the wind of Asbury Park took down aside, The wind, the sea is angry today, my friends. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian, and Bebo Rios looking to pull the golf ball out, pull a Costanza, and get the win here for the Hawks.
And this might be where the Hawks can actually, I mean, Divine Epps is out there, so I would say it's a very tough task, but this might be where the Hawks can finally put some points up on the board with an explosive play here from Bebo.
And it will be Davila throwing off as well. He has been a key throw-off guy for the Animals so far today. And this one will be a live ball. That one will bounce inside. That's a live ball. It's touched by Rio, so he's got to run it back now. And he will try to swing past the defenders. And
terrible.
The opposite of good. The man who threw the ball is the man who got the tackle. And Rios will set up a 95-yard sojourn for the Hawks.
Yeah, that's bad. You don't want that. You don't want that either.
That is rush hour in Philadelphia on a Friday. That is a long way to go to get home.
Yeah, and we haven't seen these guys. We've seen these guys get from this point to the red zone, but we just still again have not seen them dial up the play necessary to punch it in.
And also remember, earlier this year, Bebo Rios on the return gave up a huge turnover. His ability in the backfield right here, that's one of the reasons why he was a dynamic player, but huge two miscalculations by Rios so far this season have set the Hawks up on the back foot or negatively affected them on the scoreboard. So not necessarily what you would want. Shout out to Zach Morgan for sending that along and sending along the highlights from the first half. And it will be 1st and 10 from the 5-yard line. Actually, more around the 7. The handoff to Simmons. Simmons gets past Baskerville. Gets past the first layer, but cannot get past the second. A huge stop there. And that was, I believe, number 33 in on the stop. That's Harry Romero.
And Baskerville is such a problem that even Simmons has to do so much to get past him. It's not as if the rest of the defense is a bunch of slouches. Like, he's such an issue. I mean, I'm trying to figure out where Big Angry is, because if I'm Big Angry, I'm going up against Baskerville the entire game. You got to take him out.
And I think that was probably number 13, not number 33. My apologies. The wind is whipping those jerseys around, making it hard to see those numbers just a little bit. But there you see LaPera coming off the edge, the snap, and there's the handoff again to Simmons. Simmons tries to push through the pile, and he gets pushed back further.
And it's Trey Baskerville again.
Someone else got Magistral cradled in Simmons' uniform. Ends up becoming a sleeveless.
Tough.
The Animals defense looking to get back fabric, looking to get it back in fabric and or blood. The ultimate barter system here in the A7FL, and it'll be 3rd and 7.
The Animals defense is doing amazing. Led by Trey Baskerville, the pressure's there. They're making these tackles. It's a lot going on, and Trey Baskerville is leading the front.
This has been a bounce back season for him in a huge way. Just after last year not being able to get over the hump with the Snow Tribe. On the second-seeded team in the East, Hammond on 3rd down, gets it going, gets the catch. That is a big play, but is it enough for a first? That's Zuriel Wright in the V-neck jersey as the Hawks continue to get it going here.
The V-neck jersey is crazy.
Well, watch here, Hammond with time.
Phenomenal blocking.
Gets it to Wright, who's chased down by number 14. That's Divine Epps in on the tackle. So it will be a 1st down for the Hawks. With Hammond looking to control in the huddle. Simmons will be set up to the right. In what are receivers' gloves, but are so yellow, the color make them look like work gloves, Rob. Because he's looking to put in work.
Trying to put in work like it is, but
that right side, they've been running consistently to the right, it seems. If they were able to shift to the left, is it because they're trying to run at Baskerville or to run away from Baskerville?
I think they're trying to run away from Baskerville. I mean, I would have blocked him, but Baskerville is a difficult guy to deal with his speed, his strength. His speed, his strength, and his arm length, his length period, and his arm length. Baskerville is a is a conundrum to deal with if you're not a 6'5" offensive lineman with great feet. Like, it's just, it's about leverage, and he has a lot of it being tall. He stays low. He's quick enough. Like, it's a lot. Baskerville is about 6'5", 6'6".
That range of motion just makes him like an octopus out there. Over the middle, that one's caught. That's Bauzo. Bauzo forgot which way he was supposed to go.
Crazy part is if Bauzo, yes, sir, first down. If Bauzo just catches it and just goes in the direction he's supposed to go, I think he gets more yards. I think he tried to do something pretty. This is a phenomenal play call. Right there, he just turns around and goes up. The block's already there. Yeah,
it's either he completely forgot which way he was going, which has happened to me in Midtown Manhattan more times than I'd like to say. But, yeah, no, he got caught up in the lights for a second and then couldn't find a way to transition out. But it will be another first down for the Hawks.
And the only thing I hate about that play is I truly believe if Corey would have saved that play for another 30 yards ahead, that would have been a touchdown.
And that's a toss back to Simmons, a flag on the play.
So I said put Big Angry on Trey Baskerville. I was completely wrong. Big Angry's getting dominated by Trey Baskerville.
Well, Big Angry's been one of his inability to connect on tackles and sacks early in the season. If Baskerville's able to apply pressure, I feel like that inverse from the offensive to the defensive line is going to be there. Because Garcia, for as good as he's been in helping keep pressure away, when it comes to being a pressure maker, he hasn't been able to finish the job, and we'll see here.
Take a look. This is Big Angry's supposed to make that block. He whiffs completely, and for your star, Big Angry's a star. Like he's a star player on this team. You kind of expect him to do a little bit more. Like those plays, he has to make those plays.
And it will be first. It'll be 1st and 5 after the penalty. Hammond. Snaps, gets around a defender, throws to the check down. It's Bauzo again. Has it got Bauzo with the bounce off, and he'll get another first down.
First down from Bauzo, 2 of them things. Again,
it's got to be the mullet, right? Like
it has to be. But the problem is too, there's the overuse. They're not guarding Bauzo the way they should. Bauzo has sure hands, so it seems he has sure hands. He's able to make these catches and get these first down. This is great from Corey. Piss poor tackling by that young man. And Bauzo just has to, he doesn't have a lot of yards after the catch, but
in those situations, is it more in that it's more for Corey? It's just getting the ball out of his hands and making sure he doesn't get sacked. Right. I think it's less about yak, but Bauzo's been there as the check down. There's the toss back to Simmons. Simmons will run right through and get a gain of about 4. It'll be 2nd down.
Trey Baskerville has to be the most annoying defensive end ever.
He arms and legs flying at you, bro.
Bro, he seems like he's out of the play. Like he just doesn't seem like he's in the play right there. He seems like he has a step on him.
Do you think he has? Do you think he's mastered instant transmission?
Don't give him that credit.
Just a little bit, just like how Hit can move in a microsecond at time.
Listen, I'm trying to give Trey Baskerville some love. You compare him to another DBZ character, and it's hate all day. I'm gonna hate on everything Trey does.
What about Ten Shinhan?
Okay, maybe.
Hammond in trouble, rolls out to his right, makes the defender fall to throw, and that is intercepted by Baskerville. There was the real right saying he was down, but Baskerville either way, and there's a flag on the play.
Maybe he has mastered instant transmission. I apologize. I was wrong. Wow.
All right, now someone's got to make a highlight on social of the instant transmission noise and Trey Baskerville making a play.
Teleporting from the line to get an interception on Corey Hammond is crazy. I got to see if he caught that. And a great job by Corey making this guy miss. Shame on you. No
That's
legs.
Davila. Ugh. And oh my goodness, the PI. And that's a swat by Gonzalez.
Oh, no, that's a catch.
But there's a flag. Pass interference on the defense will give the Hawks some bail here.
Look, he's getting held. Trey is getting held so bad. And how does that even...
The Garcia sets him up because he's holding him into the play.
He might have dropped it when it went over his shoulder. I'm not sure.
Either way, it's pass interference. It doesn't.
Yeah. Garcia definitely sets him up.
It'll be 1st and 10 after the pass interference as the sticks will get reset up.
Hey, man, this might be the drive. They're moving it.
And they've eaten a lot of time on the clock. This is the first drive of the half, and we're almost 3 minutes into Vila again.
Corey is dropping dudes.
But Corey gets, but Baskerville gets another sack. In Vegas, your final, the Stealth 48, the Gold 20. So the Silver State Stealth did not let an early lead from the Gold deter them as they get a 4-score win. And we'll be joining Sickwit and the Hunters a little bit later on today, but Gonzalez got right in there.
Yeah, the holding is disgusting. It's like there's a new meaning to let those boys play. I promise you, I couldn't even close my fist on the offensive line. These guys are yanking jerseys, and we're talking not a single flag thrown. Wow. But I didn't see anything. I'm not narking.
Nope, not at all. That's redacted from the record. That was just a conversation me and Rob had. If you listen to it, that's not my problem. That's
your problem. Yeah, that's your problem, buddy.
Oh, I missed you, Rob. 9:08 left to go, 2nd and 12. That bye week just... I missed my friends. And there's the handoff to Simmons. Hammond on the play action. Gets it underneath to Simmons. Simmons trying to push through the pile. Will get it to around the initial line of scrimmage, around the 44, and it will be 3rd down. The Hawks, after that penalty and a sack, find themselves in trouble.
And the Animals just have an answer to everything. And again, these guys are moving the ball. It's just the Animals have found a way to keep them at bay. It's just nothing's working the way they'd like it to work. And I understand that frustration. That sucks. It really sucks.
And it will be 3rd down. 3rd and 12. And Rob, right here, 3rd and 12. You got 2 more chances at it. And it will be 3rd and 12. The Sticks did make the official change. So what do you do here? Do you try to go for... Oh, they answer the question for us, and immediately Trey Baskerville, and that one is...
How did he just throw that, sir?
That is... I don't know what that was. Surreal right.
He's swimming.
Looking like a fish that was just caught off the marina.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, not my favorite play called. Not a play I would ever call, but...
It'll be 4th down. I think they had something schemed out, and then Amit tried to get the defense off their back foot, but the defense knew what was coming. Trey Baskerville flew across that line like nobody's business, and it is 4th down. Last chance for Hammond and his offense on this drive, 4th and 15. Watch Gonzalez. Simmons will set himself out. The snap, and great block there by Simmons. There's the catch. Is that a 1st down? Ball comes loose. That is a loose ball. And they will blow it dead. They will blow it dead. But it looks like the Hawks might have saved themselves before things came tumbling down. As you see, the wind tumbled down the majority of the sideline of the Hawks.
And again, some of these play calls are the passing. Corey is a passer. This is a great pass, but he's trying to do a little too much. And he's on
down.
His way down. Definitely on his way down.
And that was not enough for a first, so it will be 1st and 10 for the Animals. When we return, we'll see Johnson and company try to make this a 3-score lead. Can the Hawks defense answer with another turnover? We'll find out in a moment. That was 4th down. You'll get first after this. That's the A7FL Games of the Week. back live with the A7FL Games of the Week. And folks, if you want to get yourself protected out there, utilize a shiesty from our friends over at Gatorskin. They're an official sponsor of the A7FL, and their Gatorskin shiesty is shown to reduce concussion risk up to 79%. This protective shiesty is engineered with absorption material to help keep you safer during high-impact hits. Visit G8RTech.com, that's GatorTech.com, and use the code A7FL25 for 10% off today. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian after a fourth down lack of conversion from the Hawks. The Animals will get the ball back midway through our third quarter. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian.
The Animals are just going to do what they've been doing, playing keep away with these guys. I mean, it's 14 points. It's not that big of a deficit, but at a certain point in the game.
The Animals burn a timeout. And
wow.
I think this is what has cost the Animals more often than not this season is that inability to get a play in at the line. They've burned a lot of timeouts. They've had to rush onto the field a little bit. I think that has been a key issue with their inconsistency and able to get over top teams. That and also not having all of their roster against the BIC. But they've had some games where it's a lot closer than you would think with the way that offense has been able to perform this season. 14-0 your score, 6:48 left to go. The handoff.
Yo. Oh, my.
And that's a big rush and a big carry for about 8. And it will be second down.
That's a phenomenal tackle. I think he goes for 6 if he doesn't get stopped there.
And that was Omari Thomas on the carry.
Yeah, I think he definitely goes for 6 if he's not stopped right there.
And he has we've seen it. He's had the capacity to do that so far in this game, in this season. He's gotten close to the end zone way too many times on 30, 40-yard rushes.
Right. That's not a guy I would, want to continuously get that off. Like, he's got it.
Second and 2.
He's got it.
Will he be the fire, the desire for the Animals offense? The Hawks defense
pressure.
Looking to send Johnson to Venus. That one's tipped and somehow caught. If that's not a sign to the Gillette Corporation, I don't know what is. Manny Diaz with a close shave and a first down.
What is it? I'm your Diaz. I'm your fire. Your desire. Wow.
Let's take a look again on the replay when we're not popping ourselves with how good we are. The roll out there, Johnson just avoids Simmons somehow, gets it to the check down, tries to get it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez can't. It's a sea of hands. And then another took his touch from Manny Diaz. Omari Thomas on first down, and he is stuck on the wrong train. He finds himself in the wrong part of town, and that'll be a significant loss after the big first down play from Manny Diaz.
Yeah, Manny is that guy. Manny is the guy we thought he was. It's good to see it, though. It's always good to see someone pop out on screen and just be that, the main receiver. You think Animals, you think him. You think, BIC, you think Ashanti. You know what I'm saying? The same way you think about Smoke for the U. It's things like that. It's very important to stand out the way Manny is standing out. And every time his name's been called today, he's been there to do something, even when it's not for him.
He's been an amazing break glass option so far today when he's been the key option for the majority of the season. Johnson on 2nd and 12 has to get on his bicycle again, throws that one underneath, and that is a big toss. That's a wild loose ball, and the Hawks will come up with it. That's Bebo Rios. He finds himself on the ball, and another costly turnover for the Animals.
For Bebo, these are some bonehead plays. Like it's almost like there's no reason to do that.
It feels like they're experimenting. It looks like they're just trying to.
Look that's a phenomenal block by Gonzalez on Big Angry. My goodness.
But that's
like
KP.
You have this is forward progress. That is unnecessary.
And in a way, there's a guy in front of your your fellow offensive player.
Yeah, you don't do that. You don't do that. You're keeping. You got to understand, if Corey and company can find one way to put the ball in the end zone, we have a one-score game. This game is far from over, but plays like that are going to keep the Hawks here.
And if the Animals make that mistake against any other team, how fatal is it?
Oh, they lose. They get blown out.
They go for the backstack again. Rios looks for the option, throws it, cannot get to the surreal right. Either that was slapped by LaPera or the ghost of football came in and knocked that ball away. And it will be second down as the Hawks look to drive here late in the third.
Yeah, you can't keep making these mistakes, but you can if the Hawks refuse to capitalize.
And when you have guys playing on both sides of the ball like Rios and Delron Simmons, who are invaluable to the offense, it's not an ideal situation for you, Rob.
Not at all. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. It's just,
and Hammond immediately smothered, covered. Trey Baskerville one more time hits the dance with LaPera.
I've seen that dance a little one too many times today.
Yeah.
Somebody got to stop that, man.
Gonna need a gator skin shiesty for whenever you go against that man right there, Trey Baskerville, trying to make a conversation for Defensive Player of the Year.
I mean, after today's stat line, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not sure specifically if Cole could let me know. Trey's over 5 tackles and over 2 sacks today.
And LaPera's been so effective, too, as a sneaky linebacker, too.
Yeah, LaPera's been cleaning things up. Anything Trey misses or is able to force LaPera's way, LaPera's cleaning everything up.
And if you watch the Animals defense a year ago compared to now, just the addition of Baskerville just gives them so much value and so much safety. And speaking of safety, it's not great territory right now for the Hawks offense. There's the screen. That's to Zuriel Wright. Zuriel Wright making something happen with the V-neck jersey. Gets to the 31, and it will be a large gain, but hopefully enough for the Hawks. And that was right on the carry, and that is about to become a full-blown vest. So far today, Trey Baskerville, 10 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3 sacks.
Come on now. Those are not defensive play. That is a great run to run under your block. Those are not defensive play of the year numbers. Am I bugging?
And in a game like this where it's 14-0, where the defense has played such a role in this game, right now, if you were handing out an orb, Rob, like we did last season, Trey Baskerville or Omari Thomas would be getting the orb coming out of today.
I'm going to be honest, 3 sacks, I'm definitely looking at Trey Baskerville.
And this offensive line owes this running game and passing game a cookie bouquet. Is Baskerville again? And the flag and a whistle blown. Corey's like, bro, you're too close, man. You're too close.
Just chill out. You're too close, man. Just chill. Just relax, man. It's not that deep.
2:06 left to go, and Rob, as we get closer to the playoffs, and look, Trey, you're too close, man. You got to keep You got to keep arm's length away from me. An arm's length away from me. Which is way too long for you, but like a normal human-sized arm length away.
Stay away.
And also, 4 sacks is the single-game record, Rob, as of the modern record. And the only person who have done that is Isaac Negron. The modern record, since we started collecting stats for the games of the week in 2022 and not doing them longhand by candlelight with an abacus.
Longhand by candlelight is crazy. Wow.
Writing like a Ken Burns documentary. 2 minutes left to go in the third. Hammond rolls out, throws underneath, and that is almost intercepted. And that was number 13, Robert Long, trying to find his 5th INT on the season. Could not get it, and it will be, I believe, 3rd down. Watching that roll out again. had Rios, went underneath, tried to get it to Zareel Wright, who, if you're just joining us and wondering how important Zareel Wright's been to the offense, take a look at his jersey. Pardon me, Long has 3 picks, not 4. I apologize. I miscalculated in my head. His next one would be his 4th, as he is at the top of the heap now in interceptions. He was tied with 4 other people for first with 2 interceptions heading into the day. This is why I'm not a mathlete.
I'm not a mathlete.
I am an athlete. You can check the game tape on that one. Rob was there. Rob saw it.
I was definitely there. I seen that. Front row seat. Front row.
Watch the top of your screen. There's a lot of space there. The throw. That's Clyde, and he brings it down and finds himself falling to get the first. And that is Alex Redner on the coverage. Oh, him, finding himself head-topped as Karan Klein gets another big play.
Karan has those in his bag. There's nothing surprising to me about that catch. That's the type of playmaking ability he has.
Just the ability 100%. To extend himself, know exactly where he is on the field. It'll be 3rd and 1, so Karan Klein getting them within 1 yard, but Jay Rolla back on the field. And that man, he is bad intentions, and he is right as the nose tackle. He is looking to come right down Broadway at Corey Hammond. And this will end the 3rd quarter. At the end of 3, the Hawks still down 2 scores, but with 15 minutes and a full slate of timeouts, we're going to see what happens. We'll bring you the 4th and final frame after this. It's the A7FL Games of the Week. Call me the concessionaire because all I'm selling is great football. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. It's the 4th quarter as the A7FL Games of the Week continue on A7FL.TV and DAZN. And Jay Rolla, oh no, Jay Rolla jumped the line, moved his body in time, and it will be on 3rd and 1.
Knucklehead move. That is not what you want from a vet like Rolla, man. That's not what you want, especially on 3rd and 1. Oof.
Not the ideal situation or scenario. Alex Soberman, our producer. David Soberman, our director. On stats and info, it is Cole Gardella. On highlights, Zach Morgan. And the graphics right there pushed out by Ryan DePaul. And if you want to unlock the secrets of your video, utilize the interactive AI video from Scene. Scan the QR code now and see what Scene can do for you, your content, and your business. And see how its potential is unlocked on A7FL.TV. A7FL.TV. Yo soy Matt Ryan, Vec, Big Rob, Fabian, trilingual, as it's 1st and 10 after the penalty. Hammond underneath. That is a first down. Pedro Bauzo, a.k.a. the Malherbe, a.k.a. Lil Check Down, gets the first down for the Hawks one more time.
Big Bauzo in the building, who's doing his thing. My goodness. I want to see his stat line. Bauzo is going crazy today.
The Animals princess is in another castle as King Bauzo flaming the defense. And there's that
one.
Thank you. I was waiting for the right time to make the Super Mario reference.
I like that one, yeah.
That ball came out, but
and he got it right back.
Johnny on the spot. It's got to be the mullet.
Gotta be.
Gotta be the mullet.
Balling out.
Do I get one now? I feel compelled. I feel compelled. I would look ridiculous.
I mean, if you cut the sides, just put on a Bauzo fan shirt. And we got it.
4 receptions, 50 yards for Bauzo. It's a real right slide. Make that V-neck into a vest. Touchdown, Hawks.
Wow. And there it is. That's what they've needed. Listen, Zareel Wright has been a workhorse. You can tell by the vest jersey he got on. He's been working. He is exhausted. I see it.
Oh, like Jason Statham, that man's a working man.
Listen, he finally gets one in. Corey with the strike, that arm, man.
Over Baskerville, too.
Listen, that's insane. Look at that arm. He's literally wearing a vest. They're going to have to stitch it together straight down the middle.
Robert Long tried to get him there, but see his vest. See his vest. See him catch it for a 6. See him run into the end zone with some ease. Your score is 14-6. Could they get 2 points if they catch? Oh, we're going to get sued. But a big play there by Zareel Wright after the check down from Bauzo. As we're feeling musical here on a Sunday afternoon in Asbury Park, you see Gonzalez going, how? How did that happen? Why is he wearing a vest?
Why is he wearing a vest?
Going for 2, Hammond. Swings it and trying to get the flag. Will not get that. Will not get the extra point. Will not get the flag, but will get some points on the board. As someone seemed to be upset at a call and/or trying out for stomp, or the pitted and agnostic front show. But we take a look again. Look, it looked like he was trying to inspect his TPG sports uniform.
Yeah, I mean, Corey put a little too much sauce on it as well. So good defense. Leave it at that.
Defense wins championships, and defense was the reason why the Animals were behind the 8 ball a lot. But solid stat line for Hammond, 248 passing yards on the day for Corey Hammond.
Are we even surprised? Is anyone surprised? Because I know I'm not. I know I'm not even the least bit surprised that Corey has 248 pass yards.
But 18 for 25, that's a really solid stat line for anybody in this league. Of
course. He's gonna harp on that too. He's gonna let everybody know that he went 18 for 25 for 248. And shouts to Bauzo for giving him a good chunk of that as well. Bauzo's going crazy.
Over 50 yards on the day for him, probably his best stat line in quite a while.
Honestly.
As the Hawks keeping pace here, the Animals have not scored since the first half, Rob.
Wow.
They have gone over a quarter without scoring any points.
And you don't want that. Like, you don't want that kind of, it's like momentum killing.
And Rob, the get back is in play here. A rule introduced last season. If you are down or tied in the fourth quarter and you tackle your opponent behind the 20, you get the ball back. But Wingo is past the 20. They've got to get him back. They won't get him. Leaps over, and Wingo gets it to the 50. Does enough to keep the Animals with the ball. But what a play there.
Phenomenal.
Larry Wingo with the hair flowing. That young man making a statement. It'll be 1st and 10 for Silk City. And let's take a look again, Rob.
I mean, he slow plays it, but this is great. This is a excuse me. There it is.
Hits him with the Mario double jump. No mushrooms needed on that one.
Great moves.
And this is what you want from your return team. Put you in the best possible position to score, even if they can't score it themselves. And we see here again, this is going to be a highlight. Oh, just
For
to
sure.
turn in and then...
For sure.
Y
He just
button.
jumped over a whole human, man.
He hurdled the
always-
person.
Yeah, man.
He hurdled someone who pays taxes.
Yeah, it's insane. Couldn't be me.
The hurdling or the hurdler? Yes?
I'll leave that. I'll leave that to the imagination.
I did see Big Rob Fabian jump a houseboat once, but that was a completely different conversation.
Unfortunately, when I hurdled someone, it wasn't on film. Ryan DePaul has lost so much of my skilled playing film. It's insane. I got to have a talk with that guy.
It'll be 1st and 10. CJ, 6 for 10. 110 yards, not a bad stat line either. But Hammond out passing him so far today, even though the Animals with the lead in empty backfield for Johnson. Pressure coming, and he just sees the barn door open. The barn door was open, gets the first down.
Now, I'll tell you the difference between CJ here and CJ back then. You see that seam he got, and he just exploded. Old CJ would have cut off to the right and still been running, if not scored a touchdown right there.
As we see here on the replay.
Back, wide open, zip, he's gone.
And watch Simmons, and then Simmons is
You
right
see
there
Simmons?
to meet him.
He
tries to hustle around him.
Yeah, he doesn't go inside. Old CJ doesn't go inside. He goes outside.
A handoff to Thomas. Thomas will bounce off a defender, change direction, bounce back, and he keeps moving. Omari Thomas gets the first down, keeps it going, finds himself behind the line.
Yeah, what's wrong with that guy, man? Something is up with him. He's not normal.
Especially in this league. Who is?
He is not a normal guy, man.
But what you want in a running back is a guy who can make those plays like that and make them look somewhat easy. That's the jarring thing, is that he can make it look somewhat easy.
Nah, it looks very easy when he's running. It's almost scary.
1st and 10 after the carry. Johnson. Pressure coming. He is met by the pressure, and he will have to get that brought down. Simmons in on the sack, and Delron came to say, "What's up? How you doing? I have no sleeves, and I'd like you to not have sleeves as well."
He's a hater right now. He's very upset.
And at some point, we're going to have these guys opening a tailor business because they have been making alterations all afternoon.
Yeah, that is sick. That is literally sick.
But it will be 2nd and 16 as they look to the sideline. David Tender rocking a chain. One of those championship chains.
Oh, they got it. They really, the Animals, what you're seeing right now is the Animals kind of benching their starters.
And another pressure-filled stop as the Hawks and Big Angry showing up here, and they might be benching their starters. But is that the play right now when you're only up by 8?
I mean, no, the starters has been benched all game.
No, but like you have no. But if you take out a Manny Diaz at this point, you still have Gonzalez in it. But when there's a stop like that and you're not able to give that kind of protection for a guy like Omari,
yeah,
if you got to wonder, are you taking the Hawks too lightly, or is it just faith in your guys? Like, what's the conversation like that when you're building the roster out for the week? It's 3rd and 16. Johnson wings this one deep to the end zone. Wingo gets it. I'll shut up. The announcer jinx strikes again. Touchdown, Animals.
Yeah, that's it. Wingo, that's a phenomenal throw. It's a phenomenal pass. It's oh wow. Okay, I like it.
That might be a subtle nod to the BIC because Carl Meisner, one of the heads of the BIC, was featured in this season of Cobra Kai.
No way. They're not. They cannot. I cannot allow them to be that clever. There's no way that's what that is. I need an explanation ASAP. I need one.
We need a Santisteban or a Tender to hit up the line, but watch this play here. Just Wingo right there. Johnson winging it to Wingo. And we were saying, they were taking the Hawks defense too lightly, but then
way too lightly.
Ben don't break. They will go for one here to throw to the end zone, and that one's in.
Oh, that's too easy. That's
was
just
pretty.
too easy. That's too easy.
Gets it into the corner, and that is Manny Diaz on the reception. 21-6 your score. And no need to give up the sticks yet for the Hawks, but it is looking tough after a huge drive from the Silk City Animals answering the call to Old Bridge's first score of the game.
Yeah, it's way too easy. I mean, and it puts them right back to where they were.
And we'll take a look again at the replay of the extra point. Diaz just right there, tracks it, grabs it, dances it.
Too easy.
And in Jordan, just got to be the shoes. It's got to be the shoes.
In Jordans is crazy.
That's been like a rising trend I've been seeing, especially, with people of our generation and younger wearing Jordans as cleats. I've seen them as wrestling shoes.
I'm definitely old school. I remember I had a quarterback who ran a quarterback sweep and watched his cleats blow up. And guess what cleats he had on? Jordans.
Ooh.
He had on Jordans.
Well, if you want custom athletic uniforms for athletes and sports of all ages, go to tpg-sports.com. Get yourself a customized A7FL jersey. Get yourself a Manny Diaz jersey. Get yourself a throwback Big Rob jersey. Or even a Corey Hammond Hawks jersey. You can do that now at tpg-sports.com or scan the QR code now. Hawks with a 2-score deficit. They're down 21-6. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. Delron Simmons will get a live ball, and that will bounce out of play. Simmons didn't touch it, so it will be a dead ball run for one of the hardest runners in the A7FL, as Simmons will get the ball from the 25. And, Rob, when you think of the 3-on-1, you usually think of guys with speed, the ability to get out of a phone booth. But a pure power runner like Delron Simmons, how does he fare in situations like this?
It's not the worst, because the thing with those power runners is they stay very low, and they're still runners. They still have the speed. So once they get that breakaway, it's pretty tough to catch them. So we gotta see. We gotta see what he wants to do.
Simmons gets around Davila, gets himself wrapped up by 3 members of the Animals, and tried to push himself past the 50, waiting for maybe a flag. Won't get one, but some good field position for the Hawks as the V-neck boys make their walk back to the field.
Oh, my goodness. What is going on with these jerseys? They're ripping in the same spots.
It's just they're getting in. It's the defensive players. They're getting in there. They're getting in the jerseys, and on these tackles just pulling out the seams.
That's tough.
And there you see Tender rocking that Silk City Animals chain, favoring that ankle he hurt a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, this is a great time to rest your starter. There's the Ant Live.
Who's been a huge addition to this defense.
And there's my godson holding the chains, Deuce. Yes, sir.
21-6 your score. 10:15 left to go. At the top of the hour, we'll have some action for you. Sick with It will be battling the Vegas Hunters. That game will get started live 3:30 Eastern on A7FL.TV. Me and Rob will join that action at the top of the hour. Simmons set out to the line. Big stack on first down to throw. Underneath, almost intercepted, almost caught. It'll be second down for the Hawks as we get under 10 minutes in the fourth.
There's a lot of pressure on them right now to get back in the end zone. It's not an easy feat. They took them a while to do it before they got in, and just for it to get kind of thrown away right after. So,
and that was intended for number 5, Yat Dadan. We see here again. Ooh, that is some solid defense from Robert Long. He got in there. I don't know if he strapped him up, but he certainly got the swat. Hammond, 18 for 26, 248 yards, a tutty and an INT. Feel like he'd won a few more TDs than yards. But off the screen, again trying to get it to right on second down, not able to get it. The V-neck star gets stopped and stalled by Divine Epps, and it will be third down.
The V-neck star. Oh, Matt, you are full of them today. I see it.
I had my coffee this morning.
I see
I went
it.
for a nice walk. It's a beautiful day by the beach. Just really lovely.
Is it a beautiful day? It's cold in my house.
It's windy for certain, but the sun, you can see it on the field. It very much here in the booth. The weather is very similar to what we're getting in Asbury today. A little bit of wind, but a lot of sun, a little bit of clouds, but some great football. 8:30 left to go. Hammond
Russia.
swatted, almost picked off in Baskerville, along with Gonzalez. Gonzalez more known for his offensive prowess, but this guy.
Yeah, he's going crazy right now. This is a very impressive, like putting him on the line. That's actually a very, he's such a big body. Look like Jay Roller, Trey Baskerville, and Gonzalez.
That is just three.
Pass.
Yeah, no. I'll join the Canadian Curling League, thank you. I'll join the Ottawa Broomsmen.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'll do the shave ice thing. I'm cool. I'll do that.
Actually, you know what, Rob? We actually did get an offer for you to join the Canadian Curling League, but it would involve you moving to Quebec.
What is a Quebec?
It's a province in Canada, where Montreal is.
Oh, moving to Quebec.
Yes.
I'm like, wait, I thought it was a thing.
No, it's it's a position. It's a position in curling.
Canada might be cool. They might have good ice cream or something. I don't know. Maybe they have Choco Tacos.
They might. They do have those all-dressed chips, and those are tremendous. The snap. The throw, the catch. That's the real right again.
The workhorse.
And much like the Hicks and Letterkenny, making it happen no matter the circumstances.
But it looks like he might have been short.
Ooh,
that might have been a
and it was a fourth down play. The Hawks again on 4th and infinity get near the line, but they cannot go beyond. As I continue to give reasons for Bob Iger to sue me. Another big catch, and that position you can't see.
Yeah, because the
sticks got out of the way.
Yeah, I'm definitely not from the top position we saw, he got to the 10. That's not the first down right there. That's the first down.
He's got to get to the 40, and the forward mode, the progress gets him over the line. We'll see again. He's got to cross the 40-yard line. And we see the catch, and he
jumps out in front of it. Interesting.
This is a big challenge. This is, I believe, we're in a challenge right now.
Gotta challenge it. The ref's saying no.
He's got to go past the 40. The sticks being moved.
The sticks drop.
He's over.
He's over.
He's over. His leg. He doesn't touch out a play. His leg is over the 40. His body carries him over the 40-yard line before he touches down.
Wow. Great second effort there.
Yeah. And another late controversial call here in Asbury Park. Another week, another challenge, and some consternation and legal conversation.
Are we surprised?
It's a late season A7FL game. I'm surprised the Cochran firm hasn't shown up yet. But he catches it at the 41. He's got to get over the 4. Oh, yeah, he's over.
Yeah, he's over. He's over.
Let us know what you think. Go to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian here with you. Live on a7fl.tv and on DAZN. 7:09 and counting. That they didn't give it to him. It'll be the Animals with the ball. The Hawks on another 4th down get come.
Can't get it.
He can't get the catch on that play.
I need some push-ups.
That'll be a 2nd down, and he is hurt. Came down hard on the turf. Will get helped up as Diaz.
His pride is hurt.
Looks like he came down hard trying to catch that ball.
Yeah, my pride will be hurt trying to catch that.
As we see Augusto giving the plays to CJ. We caught the whole Zareel Wright, 9 receptions, Rob, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. This Hawks offense have been able to make a lot of plays just on those short yardage situations or those first downs. And Zareel Wright with 11 receptions ties the modern record set by Kason Campbell 2 weeks ago.
Oh my goodness.
With 11 receptions, the modern record. The post-2022 record. And Johnson in trouble. The throw. Caught. That's Omari Thomas. Thomas screams through the defenders, tries to keep it going, and he does. Slingshots his way through, tosses it back to Gonzalez. And Big Zay Gonzalez, that's tossed back and dribbled. That's picked up by Kasim Perry, and Perry will be down at the 31.
They're just having fun with it, man. I gotta love to see it. Love to see it.
When it works, you love to see it. When it doesn't work,
I laugh.
It turns into a Benny Hill bit.
I laugh at it. I say, how dare you disgrace the game with your pitchy woo-woo. How could you?
But when it happens, we're going crazy like it's the game.
Oh, yeah, you have to. You have to. You have to. It's a beautiful thing when it works.
Yeah.
Actually, you.
And it will be number 26 coming in. Justin. Oh, no, pardon me. That's CJ. Usually in another uniform, but today rocking the 26. One more than the points scored in this one. Two more, pardon me. 21-6 your score. The throw underneath. Oh, can he get Wingo somehow? What was that?
Oh, my God. Just an easy. What in the world?
What in the NFL Street Volume 2 was that?
Nah, I don't know.
That was a game breaker.
Nah, Wingo, I don't know what that was, Wingo, we got to have a conversation, buddy, because I don't understand any of what I just saw.
Wingo hit a wah-wah pedal, hit a distortion in real life.
Oh, my goodness, bro. What?
Let's watch again on the replay.
Drop back, great blocks. Wingo.
And
oh, my good. Oh, Pedro takes out his own teammate. Ouch.
And then Manny Diaz steps in the way. And
with the easiest block Manny's ever made in his life.
Wingo stepping in the name of love right into the end zone. Just the ability to catch that. And then just finish the playoff. What? What?
No, that's nasty. That's nasty.
Banana pants.
Yeah, that's nasty.
27-6 now the score. They will go for 2 from the 10. Gonzalez, learning from before, puts his hand up as an eligible receiver.
As he should.
Johnson sending the man in motion one more time. Throws it to the end zone. Caught. No, cannot hold on to it. That was Kasim Perry. And we will take a brief timeout, and when we return with the A7FL Games of the Week, we'll wrap this one up and get you ready for our 4 o'clock game. 27-6, Hawks get the ball next. Back live on A7FL.TV. And folks, if you want to get yourself protected on the field, utilize our partners over at Gator Tech. Get more protected utilizing the Gator Skin Shiesty and save 10% using the code A7FL25 today. Go to GatorTech.com. And now an opportunity for an untimed down and the chance for the Hawks to get some points, but not able to get there. That's Amir Meyer on the return. Not what he would want, as it will be 1st and 10 for the Hawks, and it looks like his hip or his ankle.
A little banged up on that one.
Got jammed up, and
it's like if you left here at halftime and you're like, oh man, they're only down 2 scores to come back in the 4th with 4:27 left to see that they're down 27-6. Yeah.
A lot of stuff has happened in the last 2 quarters. You missed a lot. And you can catch up.
I always say don't leave.
Yeah, don't leave. But if you do, you can catch up every week on A7FL in motion. And if you want to find out where to watch that, go to a7fl.com/watch. Rob calling for a tutty. The throw by Hammond. Can't get there. It's a pick. That is another pick. Big play, number 14. Getting it. Divine Epps gets the pick. Another one for that young man on the season. And the Hawks tried to break this break this drive open. Could not get there. We see again Hammond. Almost Baskerville knowing not to hit him as he threw. Tried to get it to Zareel Wright, but he overshot it. Could not get it underneath. And Hammond, that'll happen.
I hate to see it.
But a solid, just getting right there, extending the arms. Zareel Wright was the intended receiver, but Divine Epps with the pick. And the Animals get the ball back with under 5 to play here in this one.
You just hate to see it.
And Rob, despite the score, this has been a lot closer of a game than a lot of people expected in the trenches on the stat sheet. Johnson on first down. He flings the pill.
My goodness.
That one is caught in tracking. That is Manny Diaz again, getting it inside the 40.
I feel like there's like a battle here that I don't know about. I feel like these quarterbacks are just saying, hey, you can throw it, I can throw it too. Let's see. You know what I'm saying?
Stat sheet for stat sheet, old head for old head. Just battling it out here with 3:46 left to play. Matt Ryan alongside Big Rob Fabian. We check again on the replay. What a throw.
Man, that's a crazy throw. But that's what you can expect from CJ.
A big play there from CJ and Diaz. Talking it over with Omari Thomas and Manny Diaz.
If I'm not mistaken, CJ is like at least, I know for a fact he has one championship, guaranteed. I feel like he has two, but never talks about it.
The handoff, that's to Thomas. Thomas looking for an option to toss it back. Diaz was right there, but it will be second down after they lose about a yard. Johnson, 10 for 15, 231 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an INT. Certainly caught up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, that's not
I think that might be his best performance in an A7FL field for quite some time.
Yeah, in the modern day, yeah.
Yeah, in the last couple of seasons, because we haven't seen CJ play quarterback too much.
Yeah. But he's a phenomenal backup to have. You see his ability. It's not like he doesn't have it.
He has the weapons, he has the ability, and he has the knowledge of, I know how to get these guys open. And Johnson rolls out to the right, and he will just get on his bicycle, flings this one. That one's caught on the pass interference. Manny Diaz.
Yeah, CJ's just showing off now.
That was just.
He's showing off now. He's showing off now. Hold on a second.
Getting the ball in that tight of a spot, and Diaz just trusting Diaz can make that catch. Because it looked like he was trying to get maybe underneath, see Omari Thomas sneaking out there, but Diaz calls for the ball, has the distance, has the reach, has the guy all over him, and somehow Diaz draped in another human being, wearing them like a belt, catching that touchdown. Bonkers play here from the 40. Just chucks it from over 35 yards on the fly.
It's crazy.
Trying to see if he crossed the line of scrimmage, because he was making the motion as he was crossing the line.
He's literally just showing off.
At halftime, the Octane get the win over the Heathens, 37-24. A huge win as the Octane beat the Heathens in Ohio.
We had a conversation before the game started. That just changed everything.
That upsets the whole apple cart as the Octane get their first win of the year. And we review potentially a play that may not be a touchdown, despite it being an incredible play.
Really? It may not be a touchdown.
Johnson might have passed the line of scrimmage.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's not what you want. And we see The slow zoom in. At 2:15 left to go in this game. Our final break will be at the 2-minute warning, as we will give you the remainder of this game and get you ready for 4 o'clock. The Stealth and the Octane, the only 2 teams so far to get a win today. Only the first of 2 of 4 games going on across the A7FL today. Big surprise upset for the Octane. That is not what you would expect for the Heathens, a team that after we saw them play a couple of teams out here real tight.
Yeah.
And the Octane getting some big losses to the Crush. But Johnson with 2:14 left to go will fling this one. That'll be a dead, almost intercepted. That one floated around. That ducked in the air a little bit, Rob.
So he definitely crossed the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he definitely crossed the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 4th down. Pardon me, 3rd down after that play. And it will be 4th and 16. We are at the 2-minute warning. So on 4th and 16 when we return, will Johnson be able to reclaim that? Or will the Hawks get another big stop? We'll find out and wrap this one up for you next. It's the Games of the Week. After the 2-minute warning, Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian here on the A7FL Games of the Week. Coming up, we'll be joining the Hunters and Sick With It live, but right now the Animals looking to put a bow on this one. On 4th and 16, Johnson will get what he needs, and they will try to call... did he? No, they call him out behind the line. So another 4th and long that goes to 5th and short, and that is not what the Animals wanted. The Hawks seem to get the ball back here late in the 4th.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that, especially on a run like that where CJ thought, I mean, he broke it wide open. I thought just like he thought he had it. So unfortunately, he miscalculated, and that's that. A little frustration on his end.
And yes, we are with 27-6, minute 49 left to go. The Hawks will get the ball. And it looks like Rios will step in at quarterback.
Give Corey a well-deserved break.
And the snap, the screen, caught. Zariel Wright! Zariel Wright! Wow. Can he get there? The V-neck is flashing! It's a touchdown for the Hawks! And it carries it in. They share the wealth, 27-12. Zariel Wright will get the touchdown. What I don't know what was that?
What is happening?
Was he in tremors?
I don't know
what was that.
They might have to check him.
It's like a David Lynch movie just happened on our screen.
Yeah, I thought he just had a seizure.
Yeah, it was like Mulholland Drive played out in front of us.
Zariel Wright, the workhorse today. He's on another level today. Shame it's in the loss, but he's been going insane from a couple of weeks ago when I thought he was just such a 50-50 guy that couldn't really get it done. Today, his name has been called, and he's been doing it.
And with not a lot of time left in this one, the Hawks trying to make it more interesting, make it close, 27-12 now your score. Bebo coming in, getting that quick strike to Zareel Wright. Putting them within 2 scores once again. Well, 3 scores, pardon me. We'll go for 2 from the 10. 3 wide receivers set up to the right, pardon me. The snap. Rios will roll out and he will find something. Tries to get to somebody right again. And who comes up with it? Zareel Wright pulls it down.
The workhorse. Wow. He's a grown man out there.
Zareel Wright, what a play from that young man. Now it's a 2-score game. 10 receptions, 184 yards, 2 tutties, and an emphatic extra point.
Zareel was the one very close to breaking the breaking the record today, correct?
Yeah, Zareel Wright. I think he might have matched it. No, he needed one more. He needed one more.
Oh, my goodness. He looks at him like, oh, my God. Oh, no.
Hit the Shawn Michaels in 97. He is 1 catch away from the record.
Wow.
He thinks he's cute. He knows he's got tutties. He's got the moves that drive defenses wild. He's just Zareel Wright. Zareel Wright.
Great defense, but this is just more gym work. Oh, you are a big young man. You got to do your push-ups, man. That's what I'm saying. Guys, just wake up.
It felt like we were playing Halo 2 for a second.
Bro, he just yanked it out of his hands. And then, yeah, I won't say the reference, but, you know.
Yeah.
Hot tea and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Took him out for an English breakfast.
Oh, my goodness.
And 27-14 your score. And if you want to let us know what you thought of what that was or anything involving the A7FL, sign up for Locker Room Chat. Go to a7fl.com/chat. That's a7fl.com/chat. And join me and Rob and give us your thoughts on what's going on.
If only they had this spark in the beginning of the game.
They had the spark. They just couldn't find the answer. They were searching for ways, and just that quick strike, they were just working them down.
It's time to piss Corey off. Do you think the Hawks should employ a 2-quarterback system like the Watchmen?
Well, you know my thoughts on a 2-quarterback system. An opportunity now. Ooh. Slip, slides, can't grind it out, but gets to the 40 with 97 seconds left to go.
He definitely should have went outside. Good run, though.
And with the Hawks not able to get the get back, that's a rare feat now to stop somebody behind the 20.
Yeah, you got to get somebody that can throw it behind it, so like really launch it back there and then give you the opportunity, or get someone that can make sure it bounces. That bounce is nasty. It can mess you up. Guys can get scored on off that bounce, and guys can really lose position off that bounce.
And if you want to bring the A7FL to your town, if you want to be a part of the A7FL, go to a7fl.com/owners. That's a7fl.com/owners to bring your team to our league to your town and with your team. That's a7fl.com/owners. And also the New York Knicks won, so that's a good day for all of us. 27-14 your score. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. And there's a quick handoff and a big push. Ooh! Young man moving, young man grooving. And under 90 seconds, the clock will continue to run here. And that's Wingo, who's got a big play and a big touchdown so far. He's a magician, Rob. His ability to evade.
Wingo's been looking really good today.
Minute 14.
And all this is telling me is that the Animals have, not only do they have a good core, they have a whole bunch of good secondary guys, secondary options that can still break things open and go crazy. I like that for them. They have depth.
And also,
they showed me today.
The story coming out of this game, the Animals' depth and the Hawks' just tenacity. They're going to be a tough out to whoever they play in the playoffs. It may not look it on the scoreboard, but they're going to try to drive them. And there's another handoff to Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz will get to inside the 40. Well, pardon me, he'll get near the 40. Brought out around the 42, that low perspective.
Yeah, Manny's good. Manny's already good. I don't need to see any more of Manny today. Like the guy's already good. Like he's really really good. We get it now. We get it. It's drilled into our heads. Manny Diaz is the one. Got it.
10. This will be the last play if they get it off here in our first game of the week. And this one is all... Oh, they will get it off. That's tossed to Wingo. Nope, they will call that play dead. And we are final here in Asbury Park. And your final score, even without David Tender, even without Kwani Morgan, the Animals flex their muscles and continue to lock in the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. They get the final 27-14 over the Hawks. This has been a presentation of the A7FL. We'll be back with more action after this. This has been the A7FL Games of the Week. A7FL Games of the Week. Matt Ryan joined alongside Big Rob Fabian. 6-0 your score. 8:01 left to go in the first. Hunters with the ball, sick with it in the white and orange. Hunters in the gray and red.
If you can tell which is which.
3rd and 6. The throw deep to the end zone. Can't get there. And that was intended for the wide receiver who's looking for a PI call, Big Rob, but I don't know if he's going to get that.
One thing